One. Yo, everyone, you're listening to Filmmaker Mike and the boys. Joining me is Sequestered Jester,
Hey, everybody.
Pinhead,
What's up?
and Kuya.
Happy Sunday, y'all.
Happy Sunday. It is March 14th, and oh my God, if someone were to tell me that I would have been able to see the Snyder Cut days before its official premiere on HBO Max on March 18th, well, I just simply would have been beside myself, and I would have said, "You're messing with me. Don't do that." So, FYI, I got to see the Snyder Cut legally, of course. The official Snyder Cut website had a contest that they ran for a few weeks, and it was basically you go on the site and you can share based on each hero. So based on each of the 6 heroes, Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Cyborg, Aquaman, and the Flash, each hero has a trait that they stand for, and then you record up to a 1-minute video wherein you share who has been an inspiring hero to you. So like to me personally, right? So you could enter for like on each of the 6 heroes. So technically you could have entered 6 times. And so, I was looking at it and I was thinking like, I want to do it, but I'm like, so much is going on, of course. And then the last day of the contest, before it was going to end, I figured, you know what? I was thinking to myself, I can wait till the 18th. I can just wait to see it till the 18th, right? What's like 5 days more, 5 days to wait. But then I figured like on the last day, so I think it was Wednesday was the last day. Right before work, I was like, you know what? I'm going to take my shot. I'm going to shoot my shot. And I'm going to quickly record 3 videos. So the heroes I chose was Wonder Woman, who stands for oh my God, I'm trying to remember what she stood for. But anyway,
the fight, like the fighting. Right?
No, not the fighting. No, it's non like trying to think of the. I know I have the video saved here on my phone. But anyway, so Wonder Woman, Superman is Justice. Wonder Woman was, man, I can't remember. Anyway, so there's Wonder Woman, Flash, and Superman. So the first one I recorded was Wonder Woman, and I basically for that one, I said my wife reminds me of Wonder Woman. Her strength and her compassion for others, especially like going through a pandemic. She's a healthcare worker. She works as a registered nurse. It's really tested her a lot throughout the year, and of course, a lot of healthcare workers as well. So that's just up to 1 minute. And then the second one I recorded. So no one knows this yet. I didn't even get to tell him. The second one was based on the Flash. I'm trying to remember the theme, but I think it's determination. So for the Flash, my hero was Pinhead. And I basically said, this guy has shown me determination despite what he's gone through and what he's going through. And so I was really inspired by that. And so I talked about Pinhead, and then I submitted that one. And then for Superman, I chose the hero of justice. I chose Zack Snyder himself. And I said, I don't personally know Zack Snyder. He doesn't even know me personally. But he has inspired me so much ever since I found out about his films. And of course, when he made Man of Steel, it's a top tier film for me. Obviously, if you've been listening to the podcast, you know how much I love, and you know me personally, you know how much I love Man of Steel, and then BVS as well. And now with the Snyder Cut, the fact that Superman stands for justice, we are getting justice by having this film release finally after all these years. And then that's it. And then I submitted the videos, and then I thought, you know what? I did it. I took my shot. If I win, great. If I don't, then that's fine. At least I tried, right? And that was 3 chances out of, usually a contest, you just get to enter once. But this one, you could have done 6 times. I did half, so I did 3. And I was like, there it goes. So we'll see what happens. So Thursday afternoon, was putting my son to take a nap, and as I checked my phone, I checked my email, and then I saw the email, and I was like, "Holy shit!" And my son Lucas was like, "What's going on?" He got freaked out.
You woke up your son from a nap, dude. You are evil.
He was getting ready to sleep.
That's even worse.
Well, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You know, the reaction is truly genuine. So I got the email and it said, "Congratulations, you won Zack Snyder's virtual premiere." And I was like, "Oh my god!" I couldn't believe it. And so with I'm not sure which video they chose. They didn't tell me, but they did. The nice thing is, everyone that submitted videos, it was all submitted, so it's all there. Everyone gets to share their heroes, so that's great. That's awesome. So yeah, I got the email, and then it basically said you'll receive another email tomorrow on Friday, and then on Saturday morning is when the access code begins. You'll be able to access the film and start watching it at 10 a.m. March 13th. So I was planning to watch it then, but then I figured, hey, this is a rated R film. It's a 4-hour film. I just don't want to shut out my family, just because, it doesn't matter. I mean, it's just not cool if I just say, hey, So anyway, we were having a group chat, and then I figured, you know what? We might as well move the podcast to Sunday, so at least I can watch it Saturday evening when my kids are with the grandparents, and I can just focus on watching it. So we started the film late last night. Finished at like almost 4 this morning. I did not pause it. I was afraid that if I paused it, something would happen. There were a few technical issues at the beginning, but I sorted it out. They had some troubleshooting tips, which worked out great. And then I did not really take much of a break. I was just like, and I even got in and out before. So, I was like, yeah, dude. And so here's the thing. The 4 hours, it flies by. And then you will see each chapter. When it ends, fades to black, part 1, and then part 2, part 3. Got it. By the way, those have been released. The titles for each part has been released. And then Zack Snyder himself just confirmed on Grace Randolph's YouTube channel, latest interview, that there is a 7th part at the end of the film. Well, it's an epilogue, but still, it is something. So, initial reaction without spoiling it. Man of Steel, y'all know, is a masterpiece for me. Batman versus Superman Ultimate Edition is a masterpiece for me.
Hell yeah.
Zack Snyder's Justice League, guess what? It's a motherfucking masterpiece. It is a masterpiece. And Jester's laughing right now. But I'm curious to see what everyone's reactions will be, especially people who didn't like Batman and BVS. Why is Batman killing? Oh my goodness. When you see, there's a line here in this
film. See the reason why?
There's a line of dialogue that Batman says to Alfred. And when he said that, it's not a big action scene. It's not the warehouse fight sequence. It's just a simple line that he says to Alfred. And when he said that to Alfred, it hit me. And I was like, holy shit. I see now. And now I'm hoping that those who may not have understood why Snyder took, especially with Batman's role, like he just doesn't care. He lost faith in humanity. That's clear in BVS. But at the end of the film, he realizes, he made a mistake. He made a mistake on trying to, just essentially kill Superman. I think it'll be clear in this film that Batfleck has an arc from BVS to Justice League, the Snyder Cut. And by no spoilers, but in the beginning, it kicks right off from BVS, and it connects the dots. So this is in essence a trilogy, a Superman trilogy, because we did start with Man of Steel, we got the middle, and BVS really, and for all respects, BVS is the Empire Strikes Back of that trilogy, and now you're getting this one. But man, with the Snyder Cut, it was refreshing because we did our Justice League commentary and drinking game. There is no dumbass jokes in this one.
I have a question, Mike.
Yes.
In regards to percentage wise, how many scenes did they scrap or did they pick up from that the first Justice League movie?
So a lot of what you saw in Justice League, the fight, it's in here, but not. I guess I want to clear that up. Not a lot, but some of the core stuff that's in there is in here.
Okay.
But you're getting so much more backstory. Each character is fleshed out. There is so much great character moments and build up to each character.
Mm.
And now I truly understand. You will understand why Cyborg is the heart of the Justice League. Ezra Miller's Flash, dude, I was thinking I was going to start tearing up as the film started. I didn't, but I was excited. For whatever reason, when Ezra Miller's Flash is introduced, he has a great introduction scene. And when he comes across that scene, well, it's been shown in the trailers with Iris West. And it's a great scene. And then if you see the trailers, you see that he's trying to save her from that car crash. Like he's slowly like guiding her. He's not because Zack Snyder said the Flash, he's moving so fast that he can't just grab people and like take them to safety. He has to move them slowly. You know, this is not like CW Flash where if he touches you, you're now in the Speed Force with me. It's not like that. But for whatever reason, I was just so amazed at that scene. I was laughing, but not because it was funny, but because I was just like overjoyed. And I started tearing up because it was like tears of joy, like, oh my God, this is beautiful. I can't wait for that Flash film now. So that's one. And then, yeah, there's so much scenes. And then Julie, by the way, she started watching it with me last night. She got really tired, so she knocked out around part 3. And then this morning, we watched it again. And again, Julie is not hardcore DC like I am, not a hardcore DC fan. She was cheering, she was laughing, she was having a great time. So yeah, this is what we've been waiting for, especially the hardcore Zack Snyder fans and DC fans. This is what we've been waiting for since 2017 and so much more. I can only imagine if we got this film back in 2017. And again, if you remember, back in 2017, this is way before pre-Avengers Infinity War, pre-Avengers Endgame. My God, this is the story itself is so epic. It's Lord of the Rings in the DC universe, essentially. So, and
Wow.
When I say that, man, it's just the history lesson. There is so much more. Darkseid looks fucking amazing. Steppenwolf looks fucking amazing, and he's actually a threat here. The armor that you see, it morphs, like it basically like shifts and changes as he fights. If he gets into more action, it like slowly like starts like, man, it is just absolutely amazing. 70 million to finish this film, and I can understand why, because of all the visual effects. And I will share a video on YouTube that I think it was Film Gob that compiled it, all the clowns back in 2017 that the Snyder Cut and years after that said the Snyder Cut will never happen. There's 30 minutes of extra footage. What's that gonna do to this film? Well, you're gonna see a 4-hour cut of a film that's obviously more than 30 minutes of extra footage. And again, it's just fleshing out the story and fleshing out these characters. There's humor. There's good bits of humor, but it's never dumbass jokes. And Aquaman, I remember Pinhead saying like, bro, Aquaman, he's not as bro as he is in the Joss like here. And
Good.
I actually didn't mind the bro Aquaman. I actually liked it. I didn't mind it. But here, it's not there. And I'm just
Good.
like, yeah,
It was the Aquaman of James Wan. That's basically like
That's the one I
the
want.
yeah.
the
So
un, the one that wants to do well, but not he doesn't want to be the king.
right, and we get scenes with Volko, who we didn't see until that first Aquaman film, which
Yep.
takes place after Justice League. But Zack Snyder intended to introduce Volko in this film first, but he got cut out. Cyborg's mother got cut out of that of Justice League, and she's here. So there is so much in this film. Like my good, I can't wait for you guys to see it so we can really like talk about it. But my God, it is everything that I've been hoping and waiting for, and so much more. It's truly like a masterpiece. The soundtrack is amazing. There's more songs in there with actual like a full like song with lyrics than I thought there was. But yeah, it's fantastic. I can't wait to see it again. Any other questions? Spoiler-free questions?
When are you gonna text me that shit, man?
I will text it to you soon enough.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. And then so I'm interacting with a lot of people on social media, on Facebook and like Instagram. People are asking questions and straight up DMing me about spoilers. And as long as it's a DM, like I'll respond to that. That's fine. I'm not.
No, but then like you just leave the spoilers for us, like because we're the ones that fucking whatever. The other people can go suck it.
But
I don't want any spoilers.
I don't want any spoilers either.
I did start telling people like, hey, I'm going to talk more about it in my podcast and of course YouTube video. And then a lot of people have been asking, like even on TikTok, rate it 1 to 10. What's your rating? 1 to 10.
It's a fucking 20. What do you expect?
The first time I got that, I said 100. The emoji, the 100 emoji.
Oh, there
Now-
you
It's like it's Mike, baby. He loves that stuff. Like
Exactly.
there's no way Snyder's gonna disappoint.
Exactly. So
For,
yeah,
for Mike
like-
anyway.
right.
No, like this
That's to
is
be expected. Like if you love Man of Steel, you love BVS, you will love Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Right. right.
this is the thing in regards to the Snyder cut, right? I told you guys already how I feel about it. Whether it be the most fucking glamorous, most epic, most beautiful superhero movie ever made, or it might be like a pile of whatever dog shit, that people say, oh, I told you so. I don't care. I'm gonna celebrate it because Zack Snyder deserved that shit. Because this was his vision. It got taken away from they got taken away from him by the powers that be, and and it got fucking mutilated and fucking desecrated by a piece of shit director. So he deserves the second chance. And like for people to hate on it, for people to put suicide jokes again on the little comments on Twitter, it pisses me off.
Yeah.
And
Right.
that is like, for me, I'm a troll. I'm an internet troll. I will troll anybody to my heart's content. But I
Internet
draw
troll.
but I draw the line. That is something personal to Zack, and I will never ever fucking like go that low. I will never stoop that low in regards to the jokes that and to the insults that he's been getting lately. And then I saw somebody say, oh, why can't Zack Snyder do a remake of Suicide Squad? He has experience. I mean, what the fuck, dude? Like, seriously.
Yeah.
That for me that upset me the most, and I was just like, like at this point, like regardless of how I feel about the movie, I'm backing Zack Snyder on this. So I am looking forward to the movie, Mike. I'm excited. This was taken away from us in 2017. It should have been delayed. It should have been at 2018 or whatever. And,
Right.
they should have given Zack Snyder like at least 6 months to take a breather and finish this shit.
Right.
Because this would have been awesome in 2018.
Right.
Well, you say that, but he wouldn't have been able to do what he did right now.
No, then
It
it
would've
would have been
a 2-hour
part. No,
movie.
it would have been part 2 and part 3.
Right, but if part 1 didn't do well, then it would. So here, this is, while in the tragedy, this is a good thing, because HBO Max picks it up, gives him the budget he wanted or could definitely use, and made it however he wanted it to be, in parts or whatever, in a full release. I don't think traditionally in the theater it would be like this. There's no way. Not with Warner Brother corporate up his butt and trying to call shots and pull scenes and do stuff like that. You know what I mean? It sounds to me, because Mike has been very informed and then filling me in. It sounds to me that they allowed him to do whatever he needed and wanted to finish this movie. And regardless of how my opinion will be when I see this, I am so thankful that there's coming an opportunity where a creative filmmaker is able to do whatever he wants. And I think, and I really hope that there needs to be more of that in the film industry, because right now it's just so governed by money. And that's why I really hope that this Justice League does really well. I hope it rolls in the dough, regardless of, like, if I don't like it, regardless of if I don't like it or not. I hope it rolls in the dough to show these, powers that be that control the money and the budgeting, that, oh, if these guys do get to do what they want, they can make pretty good stuff, and then we get more of that. That's what I hope for.
Right. And then part of that as well, as far as Snyder getting actually, so I don't know if I got to mention this a few podcasts ago. It came out in I think in the Vanity Fair interview, that when Warner Brothers approached Zack Snyder to just do the film, they proposed to him, just release it as is, unfinished effects, just whatever you have right now, we're gonna put that out right now and let everyone see it, so that we can just sweep this under the rug, essentially, right? Mm-hmm. But Zack Snyder, being Zack Snyder, did not compromise and said no, because it's an unfinished film. So, of course, the effects are not going to look good. Granted, a lot of outspoken fans, myself included, have basically said, so this was like a few years back, I will watch the unfinished Snyder Cut with just previs effects. I would have watched it myself, right? Just to see it and just to see it play out, right? But of course, for a general audience, that wouldn't fly, because people would be like, what is this? Right? And speaking to also just to, so kind of on the same vein of that topic, when Avengers Endgame was released in 2019, it obviously hit a box office record unlike any other, the fastest to $1 billion. But it hit $1 billion because they included a bonus scene, deleted scene at the end, of the Hulk saving someone from a building that was on fire, and I think he carries he carries like a radar dish or something like that. But the Hulk in that scene was unfinished effects. He looked terrible. But they did that, and they also included the prologue to Spider-Man Far From Home. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So fans, a lot of Marvel fans, still paid the tickets to see Endgame for the 3rd, 4th, 5th, whoever knows what time, to see those scenes, an unfinished Hulk scene, and then that pushed the film to $1 billion. Right?
Yep.
But then when I saw that, I got to see the scene online. I was like, that looks terrible. I would not have wanted to pay. I would have paid for the whole experience again of Endgame, yes. But show me that scene of the Hulk with finished effects. Like, that's lame. That's a lame, that was really lame for me. So I was like,
it's
wow,
lazy bullshit is what it is.
Right. And I was like, I'm glad I didn't pay that extra ticket, because we saw Endgame twice. I think, or 3 times in theaters. Anyway, but I was like, I'm glad I didn't pay that extra ticket for an unfinished scene, which I got to see online anyway because someone leaked it. But then I was like, wow, okay. But anyway, and then Avengers Endgame was the #1 grossing box office film since then until this
Not
past
anymore.
weekend, because James Cameron's Avatar was re-released in China,
Yo,
and it now overtook Avengers Endgame as the #1 grossing movie.
by a lot too, right, Mike?
I'm not sure exactly, but I did see the Russo brothers. Basically, they always do that key art because it used to be between George Lucas and Steven Spielberg. When Titanic took over the #1 box office, there was a key art. I think I have it on a Star Wars Insider magazine too. It's the Titanic. It was hand-drawn art. It was gorgeous. It's the Titanic sinking, and then all the Star Wars. You've got Han and Leia. Leia is doing the rose thing, and Han is behind her, and all the characters, Vader and Luke, dueling on a part of the Titanic. Like it was awesome. But it's a tradition in Hollywood when a new film takes over. The previous film will always do like some kind of like key promotional art and passing the baton of like, hey, congrats, you're now the #1 box office film, #1 movie ever. So, but yeah, and then also, yeah, to add to Zack Snyder having more of a leverage and bargaining power for getting what he wants for this. So, out of that 70 million, he made it clear he wasn't paid. He's not getting a single dime from this. And that added to him having more leverage to actually getting what he wanted done for this film, which I thought was absolutely great because, and again, as the Joker from The Dark Knight said, it's not about the money, it's about sending a message. And in this case, it is about sending a message. But then again, they realized, Warner Media realized, and look at the opportunity now. What are the odds that we would hit? Granted, they announced the Snyder Cut last year to debut on HBO Max, but and we were already in the pandemic then. But what are the odds now that the best way to see this right now, the most convenient way to see this right now, is at home. There is a few IMAX. They're having an IMAX charity screening in San Francisco. Because that's the aspect ratio is square. It is in that IMAX, and they in the email that I got from the contest, they did say watch this on the largest screen possible on your TV is their advice, of course, and which is why I watched it on my TV and I cranked up the surround sound. But I did have it play on my MacBook, and I just basically casted it to the TV. So, yeah, and then, go ahead.
Well, I really want to see this in the theaters. This is the one downside of this is that
right.
Thankfully, I'll be able to watch it on HBO Max, which I got it for the month so I could watch this movie. But I mean, I really wish. I mean, I would pay good money to go see it in theaters. I really would. I wish Cinemark. I mean, I'm hoping that maybe at least after a month of it on HBO Max, and then fingers crossed it does really well. We get to see it like they put it at Cinemark. You know what I mean? For a private screening, dude, sign me up.
Yeah, I think it's gonna happen because they have it format. It's ready to go. I'm sure. As theaters reopen. By the way, theaters are now reopening in LA. So New York was a few weeks ago. Now in LA, hey, that's a good sign, right? So
in Texas too.
Right.
Yes.
So yeah, we're gonna. I'm sure there's gonna be an opportunity to see this on the big screen down the road. So I'm looking forward to that as well. And then, oh man, but sign me up for the do a Man of Steel, BVS, and then this. Oh my God, I am there.
Okay, I do have one question about the movie because I'm really excited.
Shoot.
So before I ask, feel free to decline the answer.
Okay.
But so is my boy MM in there?
Your boy. Oh,
Martian
MM.
Manhunter.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay. All right.
Oh yeah.
Okay. That
Oh.
pumps me up.
And your boy,
Your other boy.
your other boy, Jared Joker Leto.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
Yeah. I don't like him.
I am very curious to find out your reaction on his performance.
Okay.
Man, and again, it's not spoiling anything, but it's not like it's not like he's in there for 30 minutes, much less.
Mm-hmm.
But it's quality over quantity.
Okay.
And it's kind of odd to say that for a 4-hour film, but man, quality over quantity.
Okay. All
And
right.
the things, okay, and of course, without spoiling anything, the things that are set up here, the things that Zack Snyder, he knows what he's doing.
Right.
He knows Zack Snyder, and that's why I love this guy so much, because apart from being this extraordinary, gifted, visionary and filmmaker, he knows how to communicate with the fans. Last year, when he did his watch party for BVS on Vero, and he was like doing an actual live commentary, and he was showing sketches of and concept and production art. He would just end up watching the film, and he would forget that, oh, he's like, sorry, because he hasn't seen it in a long time. But the fact that, and I was telling Pinhead when he was doing that, the fact that he was doing that, it just shows so much that he cares for the fans. Like he really cares, and he really made this film. The Snyder Cut really is for the fans. And that's why I'm also curious whether, and like I said earlier, if you love Man of Steel, you love BVS, you will love this. I'm still curious, and I'm hoping that people who may not have not liked his take on Superman or Man of Steel, who may have not liked BVS, will still give this a chance, because they're definitely not just Batman, but there is when you look at the overall story now, as far as what we have, there is an arc to the characters. There is it's amazing, and that's why I will fight tooth and nail people to this day when they will say that Zack Snyder does not know the comics, because he clearly does, and there is a long list at the end of the credits where he thanks comic book artists and writers and creators, and one of those people is Jeff Johns himself, the guy who stabbed him in the back. This is why this guy is a class act. And there's a quote that came out on Vanity or New York Times. I guess it's a brand new article. So Zack Snyder praises Marvel Cinematic Universe. So his quote is, "They're doing at the highest level this popular action comedy with a heart, and they have that nailed. An effort to duplicate that is insanity because they're so good at it. What DC had was mythology at an epic level, and we were going to take them on this amazing journey. Frankly, I was the only one saying that." And I don't know how else to sum up Zack Snyder and how he treats, I'm trying to remember the word that Kevin Smith described Zack Snyder and how he treats the DC films. I think it was like I don't know, it was not demagogue, but it was like this grand, and that's why I always see like DC.
It's like the Iliad. It's like the Odyssey. It's all mythology.
Right, and it's like this grand epic. To me, DC is like heavy metal. Zack Snyder's DC is like heavy metal, and Marvel is like pop, and it's fun, and I like.
It's like Avril Lavigne versus Metallica.
I don't know about Avril Lavigne, but but the Winter Soldier, that one is a standout for me from Marvel, and that's.
I know, and that was the only hit that Avril Lavigne had, right?
Well, no, I think what Mike's trying to describe is that it's two different types of music while he likes them both.
Right. And that's why I don't understand when people are saying like DC needs to do what Marvel is doing. No, they're different.
No, they don't.
They're different. It's like saying like I'm trying okay, for example, like Coca-Cola. I love Coke, and okay, people love Pepsi, but they don't need to do the same thing. If they tasted good, if Coke and Pepsi tasted exactly the same, then what's the point?
Yeah, no, that's what I was saying too, because I was like, if anybody tries to say I was saying that, I'm not. What I was saying is that DC needs a track, or they need a track to stay on instead of, let's do what Marvel's doing, and let's do what they're doing over there. No, they need to do their own thing. Like I said, I didn't hate nor did I love Man of Steel. Batman vs Superman was a little better, hit its problems for me, but at least it was consistent. Like, those are the only two movies I could look at. They go, yeah, that they belong in the same universe. I mean,
Right.
I think when Aquaman came out, the only reason why Aquaman and Wonder Woman were even really doing anything for me was because I was looking at it in the aspect of like, okay, this is Snyder's DC. You know what I mean? So I was like, okay, I can watch this one. But like, if other stuff comes out like this, like, it bums me out that Patterson is coming out because it's not going to be part of this cohesive thing. And I'm looking forward for Pattinson because I want to see how he does, but it's not going to be part of this universe, and it's not going to be part of like a big thing.
Right.
It's just like another guy doing another thing, and it's like, dude, I've seen a million Batmans. Can I get more of Ben Affleck right now, please, just for a little bit? Like, give me some more time with it. So,
Right.
I mean, I don't know. That's the only thing that I would say. If you're going to use the example, like they need to be like Marvel in this, the only aspect would be is that they have a plan. Like, make a plan, stick with this mythology, like, demigod kind of thing with what Snyder's doing, and just roll with that, which is why I'm hoping it does really good, because if it does, I want more. I want more consistency. Like, just stick it out. Play the long game. If you're not liking it right now, play the long game. Let's see how it goes.
Right. And that's why, like, in Zack Snyder's exhibit, right in the AT&T headquarters right now, it's a free exhibit in Dallas, Texas. I wish I was so much closer there. It's like, you could walk in the exhibit and you could see costumes from the nightmare sequences of Batman, Deathstroke, Mira, Flash, and Joker, and Cyborg, I think. Yeah. And then you have these black and white print photographs that Zack Snyder took of the characters that he blew up, and they're framed, and only 2 are in existence. So I think the first set, he owns that. And then the second set there that's on the exhibit will go to charity auction. And my goodness, how I wish I could own and purchase those photographs. And I gift one to each and every one of you. I gift a Jared Leto and a Mira, a Jared Leto Joker and a Mira to Jester.
Don't you dare.
Or I'll take the Mira. And
That'd
then
be funny.
I'll gift you the Jared Leto Joker.
If you gave me a Jared Leto Joker and then signed it yourself, I would gladly take it off your hands.
Oh, I don't think my signature would be worthy of it. Would have to be Zack Snyder's signature.
Well, see, I just want to be reminded that, oh yeah, this is Mike. This is Mike to me. That's all I want to see.
Yeah. But yeah, so apart from those are those giant storyboards that they laid out way before BVS, and there's sketches done by Jim Lee in, I think it's dry erase, and he said Jim Lee posted about it on his Instagram. Amazing stuff. He would go in right at around midnight. This is in Zack Snyder's office on the Warner Brothers lot, by the way. He would and there was a gym right there. They had their office, like, it was amazing. So he would go in right around midnight. He would draw on the storyboards some sketches, Jim Lee sketches of the characters of Batman, Superman, and the other Justice League men, Darkseid. And he was saying how hard it was to draw on a dry erase board that was vertical, and he couldn't, of course, put his hand on it because it would instantly smudge, the ink. And then he thought that those drawings, those sketches, were forever gone. But little did he know that Zack Snyder
Took a picture of him.
who will always not just a picture. They preserved those original boards, and they covered it with I can't remember what kind of material, so it wouldn't smudge, and then you couldn't erase it, and then they're now on exhibit. So Zack Snyder, being who he is, kept those things, and I guess they asked Zack Snyder, like, hey, we want to do an exhibit to promote the movie, the Snyder Cut. You want to do anything? And he said, yeah, let's do the nightmare sequence costumes and the photographs, and then these giant storyboards, which originally laid out Justice League 2 and 3. So now when you look at the story, the entire Justice League 2 was supposed to be set in the nightmare sequence.
Yep.
But ever since then, Zack Snyder has been clear about this. He has a different story now. So technically, those storyboards are now old ideas. So it's totally. And then when this was posted on the internet, they shut down the exhibit. Warner Brothers did, because they were like, "You're gonna get all these fans excited again and ask for Justice League 2 and 3. Now they won't shut up about it when we promote Sesame Street on HBO Max." You know, like fuck Elmo. Give me fucking Zack Snyder's Justice League 2 and 3.
Dude, Elmo would fucking say like, "Oh, release the Snyderverse."
Exactly.
You know?
Cookie Monster would be like, "Fuck them cookies. Give me Zack's cookies." You know. But yeah, and again, Zack Snyder knows what he's doing. So anyway, they reopened the exhibit. You can go in there now and take pictures of the costumes, but you cannot take pictures or video of those storyboards. But you can see them. But you know, once it's posted on the internet, it will never be lost forever. And I have them on my phone too. There you go. And in the cloud. So there you go. But yeah, I'm gonna wrap this up now. Snyder Cut, fucking amazing. And I can't wait for you guys to see it so we can all talk about it. And you know, like, oh, one more thing. Here's to I'm gonna say his full name because this guy. So anyway, on Monday, of course, you know, right now the hype is like at its highest level for the Snyder Cut, and people are like talking about it on different. And I'm a member of a bunch of DC Facebook groups and DC Extended Universe and all that stuff. So this guy Matthew Zavala comments something utterly ridiculous, I think, to my comment. And I basically said, like, "I'm so hyped for Snyder Cut, I can't wait." And that's basically all I said. And then he replied and he said, like, they're gonna restart, they're gonna reboot this, they're gonna reboot all of this doesn't matter. And I basically just reacted to his comment on Facebook. I just LOL reacted and laughed at his comment. That's it. Nothing toxic.
And then he went off.
He DM'd me. Let me take a sip of this tea.
Are you gonna drop the bomb that he said to you?
I am, because this is his words and not mine.
Okay.
He DM'd me. "Laugh at yourself before I break your face, faggot. For Snyder Cut, Snyderverse is dead. For future DC movies will focus on standalone movies, and they will eventually make a Justice League DC Cinematic Universe reboot movies. Doesn't make fucking sense. Your grammar sucks, you idiot." So, and that was his words again, not mine. And what was it again that they said about the Snyder Cult that we were so fucking toxic? And I'm sure there's some out there that are toxic. I'm sure there are.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I am proud to say that I have never been toxic to anyone. I will gladly have a discussion, agree or disagree, but I will never curse at anyone or call them names or put them down. I'd like to hear, you know, everyone's thoughts and opinions. Let's have a discussion. Let's be grown-ups. Let's be fanboys. Like, this is the fun part of it. Like, holy shit, what happened to middle school, like elementary, like, hey, I bet Batman and Superman, like, I bet Batman could do something against Superman, but Superman would still win. Whatever, you know? Let's rekindle that joy of having those, like, kid-like conversations. Like, holy shit.
Well, I mean, he kind of did.
Hey, he called you a faggot, so that's very childish of him. So.
Yeah,
that sounds like middle school playground talk to me.
Oh God.
But I mean, that's just so immature. But the thing is, like, because you were asking me, what they've been saying this whole time is they see it as this tiny little fan base of 10 people getting what they want.
12.
You know, 12. Yeah, 12 people. Huh?
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
They will bow.
Yeah, I wish I was. You know,
people on Twitter.
I wish I was like one of the 12 that fucking made $500,000 or donated $500,000 to suicide prevention, or you know.
Yeah.
I really wish I was. I was that rich to donate. I did donate some money, but I didn't donate that much to account me as $500,000. You know.
Right. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention. Immediately after I read Matthew Zavala's DM, he blocked me, and then his reply to my comment
was deleted.
I could not access. I think he deleted it. So I'm like, I cannot even have a conversation with this guy. I was like, okay, so mature of you. But fortunately, I got a screenshot of his DM, so I'm like, I'm gonna gladly share it and remind everyone that hey, if just in case you thought that the Snyder fans are toxic, and again, I'm sure there's that small percentage which has been addressed in that Vanity Fair article in an interview. For the most part, people who have been raising, and donating to American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, like with this T-shirt. By the way, the AFSP there's an Easter egg in the film,
Nice.
which was great. Like I saw it, and I was like, yes, that's awesome. So, and even when they were promoting this, and then they're promoting the Snyder Cut for the charity events and all, they are including the hashtag Us United and hashtag AFSP, which is really great of HBO Max and Warner Media, because they know how much it means to Zack Snyder and the family and Debbie Snyder. I say Debbie like we're best pals, soon to be. Hey, if it happened with Dave Filoni,
Oh, hey, that I can't wait for that, because like when
don't
Justice
stop
League
believing, baby.
when Justice League 2 and 3 comes out, because of the success of the Justice League, and we see each other in person, and then like Zach be like, "Hey, FilmakerMike and the boys, how you
That's
doing?"
right. That's right. I want to visit that set. Justice League 2 and 3, baby. I want to
Oh
visit that set.
man,
And every Snyder movie.
Shoot, man, I'd go to those. That'd be awesome.
That's
they're gonna be like, "Oh, hey, this is the guy that hated like Batman versus Superman." So
Oh no, when we see Jared Leto right there. Yo,
hey, Jared.
Yo, Jared.
Mr. Leto, this guy hates you.
You gotta meet our boy Isaac. He loves your music and your films. Can you do? You want no beef? You want no beef?
He'll just do his dumb laugh and try to give me a bunch of used condoms. Classic, bro.
Oh my god! I am again. I'm just so excited. I'm sorry if I went on for too long, but man, this has been a long time coming. And I'll admit right now, there was a part of me that was a little apprehensive from watching it last night for whatever reason. Because I don't know, it just felt weird. And I was just like, it felt like, so it's one of those like life moments. So those big moments in your life, of course, for me, it's like when I got married to Julie, and then when Leanna was born, and then when Lucas was born, and then when they announced, I can remember my life before Disney announced that they were buying Lucasfilm, and then when they announced that they were buying Lucasfilm, and they said, we're gonna make Star Wars Episode 7, 8, and 9, and I was like, holy shit, that was a life-changing moment. But way before we would, of course, see the films. But then now, this is another life-changing moment. Some people will say it's just a movie. This has become more than a movie. It's become a movement. It's become, suicide prevention awareness. It's mental health awareness as well. And it's the basic fact that you just can't stop dreaming. Whatever you want to do in life, whatever you want to accomplish. I mean, look, this is a great ending, but I think it's just merely the beginning and a continuation of what Zack Snyder will do. Because now, when this blows up, and it will blow up, people are just going to want more.
I did
restore the Snyderverse.
Mike, I did do a minute video for to join the contest.
Yeah.
But it was actually for Cyborg.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, and it was for Pinhead. Because he's the heart of this podcast, and
Well, that we can all agree on.
Yeah.
There you go.
Without Pinhead, like there wouldn't be. It would be like a boring ass podcast. Like seriously. So.
Even though I've said the least so far.
No, it's not, whatever. Like your presence alone. That's it. That's the thing.
Exactly.
Like,
yeah, and that's
Yeah.
okay, because when you get to see it, I definitely want to hear from everyone.
yeah.
And because I mean, of course, for me, it's like masterpiece, but I'm curious to see what you guys think.
Well, I knew it was gonna be a masterpiece in your eyes, dude.
Oh yeah, you know it.
Well, for us, we were like, oh yeah, I think he's gonna like it. And, there's a lot of things that Mike, like I was totally surprised that Mike hated the Rise of Skywalker. Like in a sense,
Well,
like no,
I didn't hate it.
He hated it enough to say that he didn't like it very much. There you go.
so from the sequel trilogy,
Yeah.
it's the one that I haven't watched. The one that I
Since.
watched the least of. I haven't rewatched it so many times. Not
Yeah.
like The Force Awakens, and not like the last Jedi.
Okay, I got you.
So, and that says something. I mean, you know.
Yeah. So yeah, like Pinhead, like no matter how much whether you speak a lot or you don't speak a lot, you're the heart of this podcast, bro. Just wanted to
Well, I
let you know that.
appreciate you. Yeah, I appreciate you.
You know, and then I was gonna do one for Jester, but like Wonder Woman was like too strong for him. So
What are you talking about? That's my favorite DC movie. dude.
even though too strong because like he is as pretty as Gal Gadot, but I don't think he has the muscles yet. So
By the way, so
Yeah.
speaking really quick, just to add to Wonder Woman, according to Grace Randolph, of course, she got to see the Snyder Cut in IMAX. They had a private screening for a lot of the critics and some of the other like really like people in the in the connects. She tweeted that some of the executives have already have expressed interest to get Zack Snyder to direct Wonder Woman 3.
yep, I can see that.
When you see this film, you will see. I mean, Wonder Woman 84 was great. It was good, but man, we were first introduced to Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman in BVS, and that warrior like Amazonian like, I'm not, fuck y'all. I'm not taking any prisoners. Like, when
I
you
think
see
I
this,
think they want Wonder Woman back to that warrior
yes,
state
that's how
versus
exactly.
versus the highly emotional, highly in love, smitten Wonder Woman we got with Patty Jenkins on '84,
Which
so
was good because we got to see a
that's
different
fine.
side of her. Yeah, but now
We saw a
with
good
this one-
range, yeah.
Yeah, with this one.
Let's not discredit her too much now.
Oh no, never. She showed Wonder Woman like she showed that Gal Gadot can act. Then she does have that range, which is good. So I like
I
it.
will say I understand why Mike won. His inspirations were pretty good. I mean, picking your wife as a Wonder Woman is a pretty good inspiration. I don't know her as well as Kuya might, but from what I've met from her, she is a very strong, very caring, sweet individual. So I can understand why you won this contest with that being put out there. So now I'm not so surprised. I thought it was just like you had the little touch, but I didn't know. I really did. I thought it was like, oh,
You thought it was luck. You thought it was pure luck.
I entered the contest and I won. Yeah. But no, I didn't know you actually had to do like little TikTok presentations. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, because that's what they asked for, and I was just like, I did it. I literally did it right before I left for work. I was like, I don't have a lot of time. I'm just gonna like, okay, who can I do? Well, I can do my wife, I can do Pinhead, and I can do Zack Snyder, because why not? But then when I sent him, like they didn't tell me which one. They didn't tell me which video was chosen. So I was like, oh, I guess okay.
And that's cool. That's the only reason why I brought that up is because I was like, that actually puts more effort into the contest for the limited people that actually got it. So now I don't feel so bad because people that actually won deserve to win. So it wasn't just like I said, oh, here we go. Yeah, Zack Snyder rules. He's fucking epic. Like anyone can do that,
Right.
So that was cool. That's cool.
Wait, but he could have won because of the tribute to you, right? Pinhead?
Right, that too.
Highly doubt it.
The determination of Flash,
Yeah.
I appreciate that though. Yeah, I appreciate that.
Alrighty. So I think I've talked a lot. So we're gonna shift things a bit. I'm gonna Pinhead has a movie review on Wrong Turn. So I'm gonna have him take over.
Nice.
So for those of you that may have seen The Wrong Turn, I don't know if anyone has seen them. The first one's really good. It's a guilty pleasure of mine. It came out in 2003, if I'm not mistaken. But the rest of them are absolute trash. They're garbage. They're terrible movies. They're low budget affairs that just I don't know how this became a franchise. I really don't, but it has. However, the original creator came back for this, and a lot of people have been talking about it. My boy Cody Leach, check him out. He's got a review on it. Mr. H Reviews has a review on it, and it's a general consensus is it's a good movie. So we'll talk about. I'm gonna go real quick. I'm not gonna get real in depth with it. I'm gonna stay away from the spoilers as much as I can because I want people to see this movie because it's not a full-blown horror movie, but it's a very, very, very good horror suspense thriller. So the first 38 minutes of it is really, really hard to get through. It starts off as a very slow burn film. But then if you can get through the first 38 minutes of it, you will be granted to some of the best character development that we've seen in a long, long time with horror. I think this might be this might be one of my all-time favorite horror movies this year. Second to Psycho Gorman, because just for the simple fact that it's not a perfect film by any means. We're not gonna go there and be like, yeah, this was a fantastic masterpiece of a film. It's not. However, what they did with the storyline. So for this will be a spoiler for Wrong Turn in the other series. If you haven't seen them yet, come on. They've been out since 2003. So if you haven't seen them at this point, it's your own fault. But the general story about Wrong Turn is about a group of young, 20 somethings going through on a trip, and they get stranded by a bunch of hit deliverance hick ass, cannibal. It's similar to the Hills Have Eyes. It's like Hills Have Eyes meets Cannibal Holocaust. They're hick ass hillbilly rednecks that are deformed, and they're cannibals. In this new film, they take that idea and they completely throw it in the garbage, which I'm so happy they did. I'll say that this is the best remake we've gotten in a long time. It's not as good as John Carpenter's The Thing, but it's on the same level as how good the remake is, as far as it took the goofy ideas of the original one, it puts it in this film, and it crushes it in a blender, and it makes it its own film. Without spoiling it and not going on and on and on and on, this film is actually really, really, really good. It focuses on race. It focuses on homosexuality. It focuses on those relationships. It focuses on interracial relationships. It focuses on a lot of very strong topics that have always been in horror, and now it's always been in horror. People just don't know that because horror it's always been disrespected. However, this movie does it without preaching it to you. It makes you feel very, very, very close to these characters without making you go, I don't care. There's a few characters that you're glad are gone, but when we get into the 45-minute aspect, and from 45 minutes all the way to the last half, this is 111. It's an hour and 50 minutes, and we're not talking about bullshit where it's credit to credit, where you actually have to pay attention and watch. Like, you talk about post-credit scenes. This movie takes the post-credit scene bullshit and throws it in the trash and actually makes you watch the credits. Because if you don't watch the credits, you won't understand how the film ends. So this movie does this brilliant shit where it takes you all the way through this amazing storyline, because it is an amazing storyline. It's very, very, very in-depth. You have to watch it. It's a slow burn. But this movie makes you finish the story arc of this story through the ending credits. If you don't watch the ending credits, you won't understand the end of the story arc. You just won't. And it's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. So I will give Wrong Turn to 2021. I'll give it an 8.95 out of 10 because it was that good. It's on the level, like I said. It's not as the quality isn't as good as John Carpenter's The Thing remake, but the idea is on the same level, and in some points it's better because they took a franchise unlike John Carpenter, where the original Thing from Another Planet was already good, and he just made it even better for that modern 80s era. This had a hard time taking something that was absolutely complete dog shit, except for the first one, which is a guilty pleasure, but all the rest of the 5 of the films, because this is a 6-film franchise, a fucking 5-film dog shit franchise, and turned it into something that's actually, or I could actually see this the way they left off. I could actually see like my boy Cody Leach said, I'll give him credit. I could actually see a continued sequel with this movie, unlike the one with the first one where you should have just left it at the first one. With this remake, I actually want to see a sequel to it. So I'm giving it, now that I think about it, yeah, 8.95 out of 10. High recommendation. And this is the type of horror we need. It starts off really, really bad with kind of dog shit dialogue, and you go, oh, this is fucking stupid. And then when it hits that 40-minute mark, it grabs you, and they go, it's like there's different directors or some shit, like it's like, or a different crew. They grab you and they go, okay, we're done with that dog shit. Now we're going to drag you through this movie, and it's going to be very intense. It's going to be very brutal. It's going to be very grotesque. Unlike with the original one where it's grotesque, it's over the top, cheesy grotesque. This shit is uncomfortable, like makes you kind of sit on the edge of grotesque, and that's what you need for this storyline. So yeah, 8.95 out of 10. High recommendation. It's not a buy. It's not a $20 buy, but what I got it on Vudu, and it was the difference between, $5.99 or $10 to buy it, so I just bought it. And if you're there, it's worth the buy. So high recommendation for your old Papa Pinhead. There you go.
Cool.
Can it be seen on any other platforms other than Vudu?
Yeah, I'm not very sure what the platforms are, but I would there's Vudu. I think it's on Amazon. You have to rent it, like I said. So I'm not 100% sure, but I would check it out on Vudu, because Vudu's free. And they now have officially, which is good that we're bringing it up, they have now officially dropped the bullshit where it's now on every platform. So it's on Fire Stick, it's on Roku, it's on your PlayStation, it's on your computer. So Vudu's free. You just have to, all you got to do is sign up, and you can watch it. And if you want to rent the movie, you can rent it for like $5.99. So
Gotcha.
and I'm not trying to promote Vudu, but that's where I saw it at, and it's not hard to get a Vudu account. It's cheap and free. So
Cool. Alrighty. And then you also had an album review.
yeah, that's so we'll get into this one. I saw a lot of people trashing this because, and not for nothing, he kind of deserves trashing because he's made shit movies for a lot of times, and he's made shit albums. But we're gonna go real quick into the Rob Zombie review. His new album just came out. This is the stupidest fucking name. I wish you would stop this, Rob. I really do. Stop this shit. Knock it the fuck off. But the name of the album is The Lunar Injection Kool-Aid Eclipse Conspiracy. And that's goofy as fuck, and we're gonna get that throughout the entire album. I'm just gonna go through. So I'm gonna start off with the criticisms right off the bat, especially from rock reviews. I've heard a lot from people that are like the uber snobs, and I get why they they trash him. And like I said, I respect rock reviews. Like, you should follow him. He's got very in-depth, very articulate reviews about metal and rock and even pop albums. I'm not going to go into the technical aspects of this album, because if we do that, we're going to be here for longer than Mike's Zack Snyder Justice League take. So trust me, because we can get into the technical aspects of it's good, it's trash. We get it. So I'm going to get into a criticism that I've heard a lot about this, and this has only been out for 72 hours, mind you, as we're recording this. And already there's been criticisms about how there's too many long gaps of intermissions and cuts and here and that. I wish people would understand Rob Zombie's been doing this since his first album. If you go back to Hellbilly Deluxe, and especially if you go into the Sinister Urge, Rob Zombie's been doing this. This isn't new. This isn't something new where he's doing cuts. He does transitional cuts because he's obsessed with horror movies and old time commercials. That's why he's what we heard from being tapped for the Munsters, reboot or remake or whatever. This is his mentality. He has a carny horror movie mentality. He comes from a carny family. We're not going to get into the whole thing because, like I said, it'll be 12 hours long. But if you know his background, his family, he comes from a carny mentality where he grew up on old horror films. And this is his mentality. Old horror movies, old commercials. So he puts that throughout his entire albums. He's done it from the very beginning. So people complaining about there's too many transitions and intermissions. He's done this forever. So this isn't new. Now that we got that out of the way, we'll talk about the album in general. The album in general, I won't say who, but someone gave it a 5 out of 10. It's not a 5 out of 10 because that makes it an average, perfunctory, middle of the road. We went down this many times on my IG and on this podcast. It's not an average, middle of the road. Actually, to be quite honest, the people that gave this an average, middle of the road rating gave his last album a higher mark, and his last album was absolute dog shit. Everything he was trying to convey in his last album with creativity and originality actually came through in this album. I'll go off real quick and then we'll end it real quick. I know people will argue with me with these songs, but I'll go off the highlights and I'll go off the ones you can skip. Expanding the Head of Zed. That's you just have to listen to it because that's how he starts off every album. You can go from Hellbilly Deluxe to the Sinister Urge to Educated Horses all the way to now. He always starts an album with a reflectory horror movie type thing or some shit. It's not a real song. It's like it'll last 30 seconds at the most. You just have to listen to it because that is the precursor of what the album is. The next song is The Triumph of King Freak, a crypt of preservation and superstition. We won't go through the whole album because he keeps doing this and it needs to stop with these long soliloquies of titles. We get it, Rob. That's where you should be marked down. Stop doing that. We don't need the law. We get it. You're real creative type. We get it. Stop doing that, please. It's pissing a lot of us off, and it's pissing off the people that aren't mainstream fans, like my boy Jester, who could actually try and listen to it. They don't want to hear that once they see this, the ballad of Tony Talk once through the ghetto of dimensions of three. Like, we don't need to hear that shit. Stop the pretentious snobbery, because that's what it's borderlining on. It's snobbery in the horror movie community. We don't need that shit. This isn't the 70s. This isn't the late 60s, early 70s anymore. Just stop. However, I went on a little tangent there. I'm sorry, but it really pisses me off. But The song is okay. It's not a bad song. It's not a great song, but it does set the template to what you're gonna listen to. So you should listen to that. The Ballad of Sleazy Rider. It's a play on words with, we already know that in his love for, like I said, Rebel Nature, Easy Rider, Carney bullshit, the 70s, the late 60s, all that shit. It's a fair song. It's not bad. Where we start to get into where he's really doing a good job is hovering over the dull earth, and it's another one of those, lulling you in, and then you start to get you get good vibes off of it. Then we got Shadow of the Cemetery Man, a really great track, pretty damn good. A brief static hum, and then the radio. That these are two skippables. The 6th and 7th track are skippables. They don't really progress the story anywhere. And the reason why I'm doing this is because this album actually tells a story. May not be a perfect or good one, but it tells a story. It's far more coherent than anything he's ever done. The much talked about, or the much talked of Metamorphosis, that's where we really get into the really good creative storytelling aspect of what he's doing. Then we get into the Satanic Rites of Blackula. Shower of Stones is a skippable. It doesn't matter.
Satanic Rites of Blackula?
Yeah, he does a song that's pretty much a tribute to
the black exploitation.
Yeah. Without ruining it, yeah, it's pretty much an homage to the story of Blackula. So it's his love for Hammer horror, because the Satanic Rites with Hammer, but he turns it on its edge with Blackula. So you can, because I don't want to ruin it for people that might listen to it. It's another what do you call it? So this is, what do they call these albums? Oh God, I can't believe I'm blanking. This is the epitome. It's like Kilroy was here with Styx and oh God,
progressive
I can't
rock?
believe. No,
Progressive rock.
What
I
they
don't
call
know.
the type of album? What they
A concept album?
Concept album. Thank you, God. Thank you, Kuya, to save the day. Dumbass Pinhead blanking. This is the epitome of a concept album because it follows just like Kilroy was here with Styx and other albums. This is a continuous theme throughout it. That's why I said the Satanic Rites of Blackula is a must hear.
Nice.
The one to avoid that is the most annoying and obnoxious is called Shake Your Ass, Smoke Your Grass. It is a fucking garbage, jumbled. It's the epitome of if a carny was trying to relive his glory days from the 40s. Nobody gives a fuck. It's boring too. It's a monotonous, boring track. It is the worst on the album, and it is not only the worst on the album, it's one of the worst Rob Zombie songs of all time. It's garbage.
It sounds like a stripper song, bro.
It's close. Only it's 99-cent store, dollar value, Dollar Tree stripper song. Like, no teeth. Mama gonna give it to you, boy. Come and get that good pussy around that shit. I got these greasy cheeseburgers. I'll suck your dick for $1 type stripper. Anyway, however, and I know this is one of the most hated tracks so far on this album. This is actually a redeemable track, and it's a stupid name. It's called Boom, Boom, Boom. This song goes back, and for people that have been following Rob Zombie for quite some time, like I have, Boom, Boom, Boom. It's a glorified song about a witch seducing people. That's what it is. Because he has an obsession with witches. Probably because his wife's one. Anyway, and that's a subject for another day. Anyway, he has this obsession with witches, and it's literally, the song is a glorified song about a witch seducing people. However, the lyrical content and how he presents the song takes you back to his industrial metal hard rock days. And that's why anyone who's a true fan of Rob Zombie should like that song, because it takes you back to his industrial days. And for those of you that don't know, I'm not going to explain what industrial is to you. You need to look it up, because by doing that, and I'm not trying to be cryptic or vague, but by me telling you to go look up what industrial metal especially is, you're doing yourself a favor. So go look up what industrial metal is, and that sends us back to his almost white zombie roots. And a lot of people don't want to admit that, but that's that song. I listened to it like 8 times already. So it's a great song. Fuck the fucking haters. And after that, you know, it rounds out to, you know, what are you gonna do with the Gun Mama and Get Loose, and there's only like 4 more songs after that, but for the most part, it's a well-rounded. It's not a metal album. It's more of an industrial hard rock, almost heavy concept album. So I understand why people may not like this album. I really do. And why you might not like it. There's some very, contrary to the popular beliefs, there's some very, very redeemable qualities in this album. It's one of Rob Zombie's best in a long, long time. I will dare even to put it, and I know I'm gonna get eaten alive for this. This is a this will be a very controversial opinion, but I will say it right here. Papa Pinhead's gonna say it right here. This is his best album since The Sinister Urge and Hellbilly Deluxe. I'm saying it right now, and that's where I'll leave it. Score, I'll give it. Rock gave it a 5 out of 10. I'll give it 7. I'll give it an 8 out of 10. I'll give it an 8 out of 10. Because this is his best work since Sinister Urge and Hellbilly Deluxe. So,
Oh, dang, that's a better score than I thought you were going to give it.
Yeah, I thought that, like, when we were talking at work, I thought this was going to be even worse than the Smashing Pumpkins album I recommended you.
I remember. Yeah,
I was dead. I'll go on record right here. I was dead wrong.
Wow.
The Smashing Pumpkins album is dog shit. This is at least a nice melted ham sandwich, melted ham and cheese sandwich. It's a nice. It's not. You know, it's no great Mexican or sushi, but at least it's better than, you know, a soggy shit sandwich like the Smashing Pumpkins album was. So
yeah, that's pretty bad, man.
So for anyone that's, especially for those of you that are Rob Zombie fans, his music, don't come at me. His music, I know, because you horror movie guys out there, don't do it. I know. We'll get into discussion about that somewhere down the line. Maybe when another one of his new movies comes out. His music. For those of you that are Rob Zombie music fans, check this out. It's a must listen. And that's where I'll leave it.
Nice.
Cool. Alrighty. Yeah, it was surprising to hear you talk about, like, it was gonna be trash, and then when you heard it, you were like, oh, it's actually good.
Yeah, I was pleasantly, not only was I pleasantly surprised, but that's why I like texted you. I'm like, we got to talk about this, because people are like kicking the shit out of this album. And if you're I hate to put that out there, but I'm going to go there. If you're a true Rob Zombie fan, especially for his first 3 albums, this is a return to form. It really is. It really is. So.
Right. Alrighty. Cool. Thank you for that.
Thank
so
you.
We got a film and an album review from Pinhead. That's awesome.
But hey, you know.
His last 2 albums were fucking trash, man. They were trash.
No, I'm not disagreeing. I'm just saying that that's how people know that you're telling the truth, is because, I mean, you admitted you were wrong here, and that you thought it was going to be one thing and it ended up being good, you know?
So.
Alrighty. So moving on from Rob Zombie to South Park with a Q. With a Q. So South Park, right around when we started this podcast, when we launched last year, we talked about the pandemic special. That is, and again, I want to make it clear, I'm not a huge South Park fan. I've seen the movie, I've seen some episodes, but I don't watch it. I haven't watched all of them religiously. But for whatever reason, of course, when HBO Max launched last year, it was around the time that they were South Park, the pandemic special was one of the new things that was on there. And so, of course, we watched it, or most of us watched it. And man, if you guys remember that review, or if you haven't listened to that review, I was literally crying and tearing from laughing so hard just talking about the pandemic special. So it's been that is like top tier, like laugh out loud, like if you want to laugh, and man, it's just insane. So they had, and I was always hoping that we would get a follow up to the pandemic special, and sure enough, they announced the South Park with a Q and not a K vaccination special. So this debuted last week. It debuted on Comedy Central. Was it Tuesday? I think it was Tuesday or Wednesday. One of those. Anyway, it debuted. It debuted on Comedy Central Wednesday. And then I was hoping that it would be on HBO Max that same night as well, but it wasn't. So I just went to southparkwithaq.com and I got to watch the episode there online. And then the episode, the vaccination special, debuted on HBO Max the day after, so Thursday night. It's 46 minutes, and the description, all it says here is the citizens of South Park are clamoring for the COVID-19 vaccine. And because, of course, you know, as any good show will do.
Good luck with a cliffhanger.
As any good show will do, it will, really connect with the audience to what the audience is has experienced before or is currently experiencing right now. So it starts out with the senior citizens at South Park who are like pretty much the Walgreens or like the drugstore is like popping. There's a bouncer outside. All the senior citizens and all the they're playing music. You can hear the music. It's like a party. All the old people are getting their vaccines and they're like telling the young people, yeah, we're getting our vaccines. We're going to be partying now. And then the everyone who's lined up are like, oh, I have a condition. I have a condition, you know, and some people are trying to cut in line. But, you know, the bouncer's like, no, you can't. If you don't qualify, you're not, you know. So anyway, there are some funny moments. It wasn't as hilarious as the pandemic special for me. I wasn't crying so hard from laughing, but there were some moments that got me laughing out loud. And the broship is our broship. You know, they're talking about the broship.
Yeah, the broship was cool.
Yeah, see? So, and like they're reassessing like what has this pandemic and being socially distanced and being away from each other, not physically being together. What has this broship done to Kyle, Stan, Cartman, and Kenny? So, you know, and like they're fighting over like, oh, okay, so our broship is done, and I guess like so it started out with a prank because the teachers were not allowed to get their vaccines yet. And as teachers, they're like, well, this is bullshit because how can we be out there if we're supposed to be taking care of the kids? How can we be out there if we can't get our vaccines? And then the kids play a prank on their teacher, and they put was it ketchup? I'm trying to remember. Was it ketchup that they use?
For what?
For what was that?
For the prank on the teacher, on their female teacher, the period prank.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, they put like some ketchup on the teacher's seat, and she sits down, and then when she stands up, it looks like she's you know, she has her period, and the kids are like laughing at her, and she's like, what's going on? And she's like, are you guys pranking me? This is bullshit. She like quits. She's like, fuck this shit, basically. Like, I'm not gonna be risking my life to teach you guys when you guys just messing around with me. So she leaves and she's like, I'm not going back to teach until I get a vaccine shot. And then one of their older teachers, I guess, who had a sex change before
Yeah.
left, comes back.
He,
Oh, go
yeah,
ahead.
he became he became the president of the United States as Donald Trump.
He became the president of the United States. And then when he comes back, everyone's like, it's him. It's him. He's changed now. He's back now. And then he has a Secret Service, Mr. Service, who's wearing a Secret Service agent who has his jacket and his glasses and his earpiece, but he's got like a thong on, nothing else.
Yep.
Pants.
So
Of course.
who of us besides me and Mike have seen this special?
I haven't seen it. Like
You
I
haven't
was gonna
seen
watch. I was gonna watch it. Last night, but like
Lester?
something came up. So
No, I haven't seen it yet.
Okay.
Yeah. So I
I,
guess
I just wanted to know for like, so what spoilers I could avoid once I.
no, it's
Oh,
okay.
you can spoil it. Hey man, we spoiled it last
Uh,
time. Remember, I only saw one scene of the last one.
right. But I think that one merits like spoilers and you'll still laugh
Oh, okay.
your ass off. I mean, I don't want to get into too much spoilers as well. But
No,
I mean,
like to be honest with you, like my favorite part in the first special was like it wasn't even any of the things that you guys talked about. My favorite part was when they had the parent teacher meeting in Zoom and fucking and then the principal was like fucking muting everybody and he has like I have control, I can mute everybody. And then like everybody gets quiet for a little bit, and then all of a sudden somebody talks shit, and then like he did that like 3-4 times, and then I was like, yeah, that's very typical Zoom meeting. That's very typical like parent teacher meeting, you know. And he has ultimate control because he can actually mute everybody. So like it was hilarious.
No, yeah.
For me, I was like laughing my ass off in that one. I was just like, wow, like they made the parents like children and shit. So
right.
It was the same. It was the same for me. Some of the stuff that Mike told me was funny, but the one that got me was his solution to the vaccine of like jerking off in everybody's weed.
oh
And,
yeah,
and they all got mustache. They all got
Right.
the
they all
mustache.
got the mustache.
I didn't want to spoil that at the time as well. I didn't want to say anything because I don't want to spoil.
I know it's funny though.
Yeah.
And that's
For-
and that's the only reason why I brought it up is because now that I think about it, now that we talked about it, especially like moments like that, or you're not an essential worker, Mom. We can't get the good internet.
Afford better internet.
There's no look, and I talked to Mike about this at work. I hated this new special. I thought it was garbage.
Oh,
The
really?
comedy aspect of it, because there's no moments like that. Much like how people complained about Wonder Woman 1984 not having the no man's land scene in that movie. That's why they don't like it. It's similar to me. There's no real like laugh out loud moments of like essential worker mom or the fucking of the bat or all these spoilers we just went through with because if you spoiler alert, if you guys haven't seen the pandemic special at this point, come on. Especially if you have HBO Max and Comedy Central, like shame on you. But with this one, there's no moments there. I hated the comedy in this vaccination special. I thought it was fucking dog shit. It was absolute dreck. One of the worst. And I've watched some because my boy Les out there, who I was a roommate with in LA, we watched South Park all the time, and sometimes I thought it was dog shit comedy, like now, and sometimes it was laugh out loud, like the special. This one was dog shit comedy, and it was trash. However, the story arc of what they were telling here, if you actually pay attention to what they were talking about and really watch this episode, you won't laugh. For people that are like minds like me, who are like, okay, you went for the toilet bowl humor for the most part. Like, you can say you didn't, but for the most part, you went for that lowbrow bullshit toilet bowl humor that we've all evolved past. However, if you're like-minded like I am, if you pay attention to the actual episode and watch the episode, there is a very, very good story told here in this episode. Very good. And they did that on purpose. They did that on purpose. That's why I say with these guys, with Trey Parker and Matt Stone, they're either going to hit you with 21 guns like they did with the last special, and it's going to be off the rocker funny with a good narrative, or they're going to give you dog shit humor, but they're going to have to make you think about, and they did this with this episode. If you actually pay attention to what they're talking about in this episode, all of it, beyond the conspiracy theories and the QAnon and all of it, if you actually pay attention in this episode, it's a very, very well written episode. The comedy's just fucking dog shit. It's dreck.
Right. So yeah, and I keep saying South Park with a Q because they changed the spelling from K to Q because this episode deals a lot with QAnon and conspiracy theories. And that some of that stuff was for me was absolutely hilarious, and how people will just like instantly believe it, and then like they will like take it at face value and be like, oh, okay, like we need to do this now. And then they're talking about the cabal and these like secret group of celebrities and elites, and then they show Tom Hanks and Oprah. They're eating like this. What's the there's like a formula called from kids that they're eating or something. Like I forgot the term for it, the name for it. But they're eating this thing that comes from kids. Like supposedly Tom Hanks and Oprah Winfrey are in it. And then
yeah, that's right. Oh god.
I forgot the name.
Oh yeah.
But it's there.
Adrenochrome.
Yes, adrenochrome.
Adrenochrome.
You can only get it from little kids. And that's why they're like trafficking these kids. And then there's Ellen, and there's they even show like at one point they even show real pictures of celebrities. At first they show like the South Park versions of Tom Hanks and Ellen and Oprah, and they're like it's graphic too. They're like eating the kids' brains.
Yeah, it's very
like
graphic.
and then they at one point another point they show actual pictures or photographs of celebrities. And then they even show like, oh, these are the greatest, like top-notch celebrities or something like that. And they even show Trey Stone and Matt Parker in there from basketball. Yeah. They snuck them in there. But yeah, I mean, yeah, definitely not as hilarious as the pandemic special, but there's still some things in there. And the fact that, yeah, like Pinhead said, if you really pay attention to the story they're telling, there is definitely something in there as well. So that was really fascinating to see unfold as well. I mean, you're seeing this in a cartoon, and then again, you know, you can't just dismiss it as just a stupid cartoon because there's also something, you know, whether it's a Disney film or whether it's South Park, there's always something to take away from it, I think. So
and that's why, real quick, that's why I brought that up, is because I have to retract my statement once again. This was off air. I called the whole episode trash. I retract my statement because I watched it again. The whole episode is not trash. The comedy is fucking trash, and I stand by that. But the whole episode itself is not trash. It's actually it's one of the more redeemable qualities in South Park and why it has lasted this long.
Right.
So,
yep. So yeah, check it out. South Park, the Vaccination Special. If you don't have HBO Max, you can probably still go to southpark.com, and the episode probably will still be up there. Or I'm assuming they may show it again on Comedy Central. So yeah, if you have HBO Max, it's there. So check it.
I'm not sure if I mentioned it to you guys. Remember that trip that I had to Colorado at the end of the year?
Yes.
I actually went to the location where Matt Stone and Trey Parker based South Park on.
Wow, that's awesome.
That's
yeah.
cool. That's awesome.
They actually it is like a little locale. It's a different city. It's a different town, but there's a section of the town called South Park.
Wow.
That's awesome.
And then like it looks like the houses. It looks like the things. I was looking for like the neighborhoods and all that stuff, but it was just like just the basic layout of the town. Looks like the South Park as is, and it's surrounded by mountains. You know, just like how you see South Park, you know, and all that stuff. And the people that you meet there are just like so fucking weird, bro. Like, you know, like when like we picked up some food because like we were in a cabin in Colorado, and we picked up some food and because that's the nearest town, so we picked up some food, and we were in the bar, and as we walked into the bar, I swear to God, I saw the crazy lady bus driver. You remember the crazy lady bus driver from South Park?
I
Pinhead,
don't.
remember the guy
Yep.
like, ah,
Yep.
shut up,
Yep.
like that. Looks
Does she
exactly
have a
like
burger
her.
head too or
Yeah,
something?
well, no, she didn't have she had like a hair clip in her
Yeah.
head, but it looked like, I was like, it just tripped me out. And then one of those old like weird men, like from the back in the 1800s that used to use dynamite to blow up like the side of the mountain to get a mine. It was just weird because like you saw them together, like they were looking at, and they looked at us like we were fucking weirdos. Yeah, it's like, oh, good morning to you guys. How you doing? And then they were just like looking at us like this, and I was like, shit, they're gonna shoot us. Holy crap! And I told my brother-in-law, let's just get out of here. Like, oh yeah, we're eating for the pizza. Oh, and then so we grabbed the all the pizzas and all that stuff, and we went home. And then he asked me like, did you want to take a picture with Mr. Hanky? Because there was like on the side of the bar, there was like a picture. There was like Mr. Hanky, and I was like, no, I don't have a picture of Mr. Hanky. Fuck that. I was like, but like I told my wife that, and she's like, oh man, like I wish I could have went with you guys, like when you guys did the food run. So the next time we come back to Colorado, we're gonna look for that spot because it was fun. And a lot of things that were closed because of the little pandemic. But I think from what I heard during the summer, they have a lot of South Park activities. Like they actually have like people dressing up like fucking like the kids or anything like that,
That's
which is
awesome.
good. Just kind of like, for me, I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. But they finally embraced it because before, I guess from the very beginning they hated it because like, oh, like these guys are blaspheming,
Right, right.
who we are, whatever, whatever. But then it was the more they saw the show, they were like, oh shit, it's actually us.
Embrace it. I mean, hey, tourist attraction. Hello.
Yeah, they make a shitload of money, and then it was
Exactly.
funny. This was the most South Park. I saw a store, right? It sold metalworks, knives, guns, and edibles. Like, it was the most South Park thing I've ever seen. Like I was just like, yeah, that could be an episode for. It has everything. It's like for country hicks, it would be like the most awesome thing. Yeah, but like as soon as it comes out on HBO, I'm gonna go check it out, man. I like South Park. South Park is like one of the funny, like most honest. Like it's a funny show, but like those guys, they don't give a shit who you are. And the more you ask them to stop doing you, or the more you threaten you're gonna sue them, they're gonna they don't care.
So I guess we should start like tweeting and tagging South Park and be like, stop making fun of podcasters, filmmaker Mike and the boys, so they can.
Ah,
There
They're
you
gonna
go.
be like, who?
yeah.
They're gonna be like, who? Who the fuck is this guy?
We're like, oh, we're nobody. Keep tagging them, and then
No, I bet you they're gonna make Jester like Kenny because like he has the mask on.
Yeah, and then I die.
Oh, by the
Yeah,
way,
it's because I get killed every episode by all you guys slams.
by the way, one of the funniest parts of the vaccination special was when the broship was like crumbling, and they're like, oh, so this is the end of our broship. They're like planning a schedule of like basically like custody. Who has custody of
Oh my
Kenny?
god!
Who has custody of Kenny? Like 5-3-2 rule, or like, dude, like they had it all laid out. Like Hartman
Yeah, they
was
had
like
every
explaining
scenario.
every single scenario, and then they were like, wait a minute, is this it? Like, I guess we'll just go back to plan A. There's like plan B, plan C, plan E. It's like, holy shit, guys. And Kenny has no idea. They're not telling Kenny. He's like the little
He's
kid.
out on the side listening to his Walkman.
Yeah. He's like, everything okay? Yeah. So there's some good parts. Alrighty. Moving on. So we got Superman and Lois, the third episode.
Woo,
Um,
woo.
and so we're getting 2 more episodes of Superman and Lois, and then the show will take a break. We will get Supergirl final season premiering for like a few months, and then Superman and Lois will come back because they had to take, which I mentioned last episode,
A COVID.
yeah, there was a COVID outbreak, so they had to pause production. So Supergirl will fill in after the 5th episode of Superman and Lois.
Yeah.
So who else got to see Superman and Lois? The 3rd
I
episode.
did.
I saw it.
I
Okay,
did.
cool. And then Jester,
Not feeling it, dog.
don't care because it's free.
It's so free. It's free, and I still don't really want to watch it.
Wow. All right, so it's titled "The Perks of Not Being a Wallflower."
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if this is the best description. It doesn't say a whole lot. I mean, so all it says here, Clark shares some of his Kryptonian history with Jordan and Jonathan during a family breakfast, but so much more happens during the episode.
Yeah.
So, but I was impressed with it. Yes, we got some teen angst, which I am expecting to see,
Yeah.
but it's all resolved because so Jordan tries out for the football team,
Mm-hmm.
and Jordan, spoilers, he's got the powers,
Mm-hmm.
and Jonathan's like, what are you doing? Dad said don't show off your powers, you can hurt someone. And then Jordan actually, like, he gets to the ex-boyfriend of what's her face, the girl. He gets to start pushing like guys, like, because Jordan just comes out, he's dressed, everyone's like making fun of him, like, what are you doing? Jonathan's like, what are you doing trying out for the football team? There's no way. And then when the coach and all the other players gets to see what Jordan can do, the coach even punishes Jonathan because, like, for you get to run or like do push-ups, 50 push-ups for like not telling me about your brother. Like, how could you not tell me that your brother had this special talent, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, he lays the smackdown on all the other guys who try to go against him because he's obviously got some super strength. And then Clark doesn't know, of course. Clark is trying to. By the way, it does begin with a cool action sequence in China where a bridge and a school bus is in trouble, and then he, like, the family's like doing some interior painting, and then Lois like starts like having some fun with the family and starts, because they don't like the paint, the color, the choice of color, so she starts painting the guys, the kids, the guys, and then Clark hears there's something going on, and so he super speeds away to China and helps the family there. And as he's pushing up the bridge, there's a guy, was it a fisherman or like some guy who like looks at him and says like, oh yeah, he's like cheering like Superman is there to save the day. He moves his one hand off and he waves high, and like Superman is even surprised, like, oh, I can just do it with one hand and not even two. So I thought that was pretty cool. And then Lois is doing more digging. She's working for the town paper.
Yep.
And then
Yep.
yeah, she finds out there's some other guy who's like 7 foot, who's got some abilities. So just as about he's ready to like take Lois down, Lois has her like super sound beeper or whatever, that radio signal, and she presses it. And I love the shot of when Superman bursts through the wall and takes on the guy. But Superman finds out that this guy has like superpowers. So basically, it's a fist fight, and he's giving Superman a run for his money. And then yeah, Clark. We've also find out that there's some stuff going on at Lana's home. She's not sleeping together with her husband in the same bed. He's sleeping on the couch.
Waiting for me.
Yeah. So there's some stuff going on. Her daughter just quit the cheer team. She's like, I quit. I'm done with this bullshit. Like, I'm done. Like, she's just basically like going through that phase of her teenage life where she just wants to start over and just like do stuff.
Angst.
Right. But then without that, if it's little kids, then it's all the stories on the adults. So, and it's not as exciting or fun or.
And this is geared toward people who are going through angst.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what's going to happen.
Right.
It's going to be throughout. I'm sorry to break the message to everybody out there. your Ultra Superman comic book canon is not going to happen here because this is CW. It's going to be geared specifically toward teenage angst. As cliche as it is, teenage angst will last throughout the decades until we all fade away and there's no more planet Earth. That will exist.
Like
That's a fact.
Like Superman's scream as he died at the end of BVS, as we see in that trailer for Zack Snyder's Justice League. Those waves of teen angst will forever spread throughout the galaxy.
Resonate.
Be like, oh,
Resonate throughout time.
And it will ignite the mother boxes. So, but yeah, the one thing I really liked was the twist towards the end where, because we've seen it before in Smallville, Clark wants to join the football team. He gets to play football for a bit, but then his dad tells him, you really can't because you're going to expose yourself. You're going to hurt. What if you hurt someone? Your powers, you can't control them. And then Christopher Reeve, Superman, Clark is the water boy, towel boy. But then, you know, when everyone leaves, like they make a mess of the stuff, he gets so pissed off. He kicks a football and he kicks it all the way to, looks like it's going to Metropolis. But then in this one, so when Jordan gets to try out football, Jonathan tells Clark, like, hey, I'm sorry, I didn't tell you, Dad. But Jonathan has a moment with Clark and he tells him, like, this is something really, like, there's something about Jordan getting to play football that he's really connecting with people, you know? And the fact that we know that Jordan has social anxiety, but here he's connecting with people. And so Jonathan really gets to speak to Clark and kind of show Clark, like, look at this from his perspective and what it's doing to him socially. And so Jonathan, Clark has a conversation with Jordan and asks him, is this something you really want to do? And Jordan says, well, at first, no, but then now that he got a hang of it, then yes. And then Clark says, okay, one condition. And then, so they talk to the coach, and then Clark ends up being assistant coach, signing up. And then Lois is right there.
Boy.
And Lois says, oh, he'll work for free. But because at first the coach is like, oh, our staff is full. We don't need another assistant coach. But then Lois is right there and she says, oh, he'll work for free. And then the coach is like, you should have just led with that.
You should have led with that.
Exactly. So, and then he's like carrying the water. Clark is carrying the water cooler and he's pretending like, oh, it's so heavy. I thought that was funny. And then, yeah, it was a great compromise because now at least they're going to let Jordan play football with Jonathan. And at least Clark can be nearby and kind of keep a close eye.
Well, what was Jordan's position again? Was it offensive lineman or was it like a running back?
That I can't remember.
It was just like he just tried out for the football team, right?
Right.
Pinhead?
Yeah, and the way he was looking, it should have been just defensive ass kicker.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because he was like those scenes, I'll give him that he was whooping ass. I will say this, real quick. I understand why people don't like the angst, and it gets old, but it is necessary, especially for what we're going through. I will say, I don't give a damn about the side, like Norman Edge or Martin Edge or whatever his name. I don't give a damn about this side story with Lois. Like Lois.
They just needed like Lois to do something.
I get it, I know, but she's far more capable of this, and Norman Smiley or Edge or Power Edge or whatever the hell his name is. Who cares? No one cares because he's a throwaway. People talk about the angst cliche. This is the cliche that I'm far more tired of. The lowly reporter going after the corrupt business tycoon who may or may not be corrupt, and we'll find out if his corruption is really worth it or not, or he's just corrupt we get it. We fucking get it. We're done with this. I don't give a fuck about Morgan Edge. I don't care about Morgan Stanley. I don't care about Wells Fargo. I don't care about Morgan Branton Lewis. I don't care. Move on with it. We want to know about Superman and his little boy, Superboy. We want to know more about that. We want to know more about the ins and outs of how Lois really feels about what she has to go through as this new thing is part of her life. We don't care about her chasing after Howard Gopher and Doc. Brad Stewart and Pitt. We don't give a fuck. We're watching it for Superman, the powers, and for what he's doing, how he's trying to navigate through this life as being a father with maybe 2 potential, superpowered children. We don't know yet, because they could still add that in. They haven't, but they could still add that in. We don't know.
That'd
But
be the cliffhanger.
there's an endless possibility. We don't know. But that's what we're interested in. We're not interested in Lois going to the chocolate factory. We don't give a fuck about Lois talking about her intern fetching her Starbucks. We don't care about that. That's why Supergirl sunk into the sea, because you guys focused more about, for one, emasculating Superman, because you did that a lot. 2, doing this girl power shit that really didn't lead to girl power, because all it really led to is her fetching coffee, doing paperwork, and occasionally from time to time, blasting out of the sky and doing something. Don't do that with this show. We don't want that, because that's why the ratings sunk into the sea with Supergirl. Because, not for nothing, you made her do mundane tasks. We're talking about a godlike figure here. We don't care about not only him doing mundane tasks, but we don't care about his spouse making ham and cheese sandwiches, making the tuna picnic basket.
So,
Like,
Pinhead,
I don't care about that.
how far did you get into Supergirl? What was the last season that you got?
The last season, I stopped at season 2, after the end of season 2.
Okay.
Because I got tired of it. I got tired of the mundane bullshit
Yeah,
tasks.
because I think that that storyline of her working with was it Catco with Mrs. Harrison Ford? What's her name? Ally McBeal.
Yeah, Ally McBeal.
Yeah. I think that only lasted, that didn't last so long. I think by season 3 that was done.
And that's fine.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying. But what I'm saying is the start, because they have to be compared, because they like comparing it, because they did it within the show. What I'm saying is, I'm talking about the comparison to the start of this show and the comparison to the first 2 seasons of that, because we already know Superman and Lois is getting a 2nd season.
Right.
And if they keep going down this route, they will get a 3rd. So that being said, we're talking about what we're going to see throughout the rest of this season and what we might see in season 2. I'm saying I don't want them following down the same story arc and same pitfalls that they fell down with, especially the first season of Supergirl, which was just monotonous. And I understand it. It did start off on CBS in her defense. Yes, you're right.
Yeah.
But in season 2, it didn't get much better, where it was well over. And they took the teen angst and the ideals of CW, but they also took the same shit that CBS was guilty of making these ho hum plots where we're doing this for a week. And I don't want to see that. We have a great story we can tell right here with what he's doing with his sons. Hell, what is his wife could be doing better than this? We could tell a great story here with what they're going through as a family, and that's what I want to see. I don't want to hear about the side stories about bullshit that I don't care about. Like, I really don't.
Right. But then with what Lois finds out here, she finds out that there's this superpowered guy, and then it also leads to the cliffhanger at the end of the episode where that guy is killed off by what looks to be like another Kryptonian or someone who's got heat vision. I'm not sure what's going on with her.
And not to be a jerk and interrupt, but I will say that's why I haven't called this episode complete trash, because they do that twist. And for those of us that don't know, who was the girl who, because that's our girl from Degrassi, that's a Degrassi alumni. For those of you that don't know about the Canadian show that your boy Drizzy Drake came off of, Cripple, that's our girl Stacey Farber. Ellie Nash. She's gonna be, and from what I read up, she's going to be the main. She's gonna be having a recurring role in this season. So that's the actress who is playing that guest role at the end, who had the heat vision. I don't know her character in the comic books. You guys, I defer to you guys, whoever she might be, but that was our girl.
Not sure. I'm not sure which character she's playing, because nothing was revealed about her. She was just on the phone, and then she heat visions our perp, our superpowered perp, who's not so superpowered from heat vision, and I think he just dies. So, yeah.
Which we also know he's invulnerable to ice mouth too. Because that's where his downfall came, when he spread that ice mouth and then he gave that Mortal Kombat uppercut. Then we're off to the races. But I just wanted to bring that up because you mentioned her at the end. That is Stacey Farber from Degrassi, and she will be a recurring character. Yeah. For those of you that actually saw Degrassi, back in the day when we were growing up.
Little Jimmy.
Yeah, that I never got to really see, but I'm aware of it as far as.
Well, that's where Drake became famous, wheelchair Drake,
Yep.
Little Jimmy. Yeah.
Little Jimmy.
Alrighty. Well, there's a bunch of news, but I mean, we've already done a lot of reviews. I think some of the news can wait till the next time. But I do want to mention this other thing. So we didn't get a trailer yet, but we got some sneak preview photos and stills from the new Space Jam film with LeBron James. What concerns me is not really LeBron James. He's He's now Michael Jordan.
No, he's not.
He
will never be fucking Michael Jordan.
Well, that depends on who you're talking to, because the younger generation can go. He can go toe to toe with Michael Jordan. I don't know.
No,
he couldn't go toe to toe with Kobe, let alone Michael Jordan.
Exactly.
Fuck LeBron.
Exactly. So I
fuck him.
Don't know. Anyway, what concerns me is there's two things. Lola Bunny has been given a complete redesign.
Yeah.
She's no longer as curvaceous as she was in that 1996 classic Space Jam film.
Because
if I remember,
it glorifies and sexifies women bunnies. Yeah.
Because there's gonna be harassment of female bunnies when the film comes out. Clearly.
Well, that's what I was gonna do.
Man,
because if it worked for the pandemic special, I don't have any fucking problems.
So
if you can fuck a bat, you can fuck a bunny. There you go.
When Space Jam came out in 1996, I was 12 years old, and when I saw Lola Bunny, I was like, "Holy shit!" I mean, let's be honest here. I mean, cartoon characters like Jessica Rabbit. I mean, come on. In Who Framed Roger Rabbit? I mean, when you just look at her, I mean, come on.
That was far more egregious than Lola Bunny, because Lola had class. That's why we had a crush. Like when we were kids, Jessica, not for nothing, she should have the scarlet letter on her tits because she was practically falling out of it. Not for nothing. Any given Sunday, she might be the local streetwalker. You couldn't confuse that with Lola Bunny, and if you did, you're just being a fucking.
Lola Bunny had the athletic build of a female basketball player.
Exactly, and that's why what I'm saying. If
she looks like a 12-year-old fucking basketball player from the middle school.
If 12-year-old me would have seen this Lola Bunny now, I would have been like, "What the hell is going on?" So
who knows? It might be towards the younger generation. All those Instagram models are just little twigs.
Well, and not only that, not for nothing. And I don't like to follow the rumor mill or the scuttlebutt, but he is a producer, and the big, and it's not just from here and there like Grace Randolph's. There's a lot of people that are working on it saying that LeBron James has a big say so in what goes and what stays, what he will work with as far as characters. And that was one of them that had to go because of what it represented, apparently.
Where did you hear that?
So
Who said
What,
that?
like basketball players are gonna fuck bunnies now because LeBron James is
it
like,
doesn't. According to him, it was unnecessary, and that's why that happened. That's why we're getting the. That's why we're getting the Speedy Gonzalez and the Pepe Le Pew incident, because he wants that out too. Because
Hold on.
and this and that, and it's all it's a pattern.
But that's not LeBron though.
Yes, it is, because
Yeah, I
LeBron
can vouch for that.
LeBron
I
wants
do
it
remember.
out.
Yeah, I do remember reading. I do
He's
remember
not
reading
happy
somewhere.
with those stereotypes. He
The-
wants it out.
Yeah, LeBron
Based
called
on-
it.
Okay, I thought it was so based
He
on my
threatened-
research.
I can't be on record, but he all but threatened to walk if they don't give him, because they represent offensive stereotypes that he doesn't want on his brand.
So from my research, director number 1 had a lot of the stuff that was representing the classics, you know, Pepe Le Pew,
Yeah.
Speedy Gonzalez, Thick Lola Bunny.
Yeah.
Director number 2 came in after director number 1 walked, and then director number 2 changed it to his preferences. I didn't hear anything about LeBron's preferences being even cared about.
Well, the
Could
reason
be
the
wrong.
director number 2 got hired was because LeBron said so.
Exactly.
Oh,
Because
there
he said,
you go.
I want this to happen.
There you go. So he's got the pull.
Exactly.
He
He
got in the
said
job.
that director number 2 will tailor what I want, and that's why it was hired. It all, like, let's not be daft here. The star is not Looney Tunes, it's LeBron. Whether we want to kick and scream, the movie was started in the first place. Let's not, all of our research can prove this.
Yeah.
It started with LeBron. The movie was only started in the first place with LeBron. You don't think he doesn't have any pull whatsoever? Let's not be daft here. Come on.
No, you're right. I'm just
And he's a producer, which means
Okay.
quite a bit, because he's gonna get, if this movie makes nothing, then he gets nothing. That's how producers work. If you put the money in, high risk, high
Mhm.
reward sometimes, or high risk, low reward, depending on how smart you are, you know. It goes back to the Snyder Cut. So producers have sway, regardless, especially if they happen to be the star of the movie, they definitely have sway. That's how it works.
That's a little too much. I mean, in my opinion, that's a little
It
too
is,
much
you're
say
right.
for
You're
this
not
guy.
wrong, Jester, but it still doesn't take away from the fact, but that's how it works.
No, I know.
He said that Speedy Gonzalez is very offensive. No, he wasn't. He was actually championing being Mexican because he was so funny. He was like nobody could catch him because he was so fast.
Not only that, if you actually look into it and ask the Latin community, the Mexican,
They love
they
fucking
love
Peter.
him. They adore him.
They even love Slowpoke Rodriguez, and there's nothing wrong.
They're
There's
pissed
nothing wrong
off.
with that.
Even
Who's Slowpoke
Fluffy,
Rodriguez?
even
Huh?
Fluffy, who is the
Like, you know,
voice of the
fucking-
new Speedy, is saying, "You're not gonna cancel me. I'm the fastest." You know, paraphrasing. I'm the fastest Mexican out here. And he's like, "You're not gonna cancel me."
Yeah, Slowpoke Rodriguez is like, "Hello, senor."
Oh, okay. Now I remember.
How are
Now I remember.
you?
Yeah,
And then
Yeah.
and then like he always gets away with everything because like at the end of the day he has the fucking hypnotizing eyes and like, you
Yeah,
know,
what's
Yeah.
up? What makes blacks and brains? He makes, or
Makes,
blacks and feet. He
feet,
makes
he
up
makes
for
up-
intelligence.
yeah,
Like he was a slow,
He
and
was
that's why
funny.
a lot of that community loves him, because he was slow and he was funny,
yeah.
but he was actually highly intelligent.
And then
But you look past that because that's not part of the narrative.
and
He
then
was he was highly intelligent and really helped Speedy Gonzalez
yeah,
accomplish a lot of missions inadvertently, whether it was inadvertently or unintentional. He actually helped Speedy Gonzalez accomplish a lot of his missions, you know, that he did.
and then Pepe Le Pew, like they want to cancel because he's a rapist. No, he wasn't. He was a French romantic from like the old films back in the day.
their argument to that was like because he kept grabbing her and locking her in a room and like trying to make sure she can't leave, kind of thing. And
Because he was so in love and enamored. He's like, oh, mon chéri,
no, I know,
I'm gonna be with
no. So
I understand where they're coming from. I
Okay,
understand where they're
okay.
coming from. It
Yeah.
looks very rapey, like that song, like that's the
Well-
Christmas song. What was it? Was that Christmas song?
Oh, the
Fucking,
Christmas song.
Baby, it's cold outside. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But it
it's
also didn't help that they added the stereotype of stinking with French. However,
Yeah.
if you look into the lineage and the history, perfume and cologne comes from, it's a French term because of they just wanted to spray cologne and
Right.
then we get it and then we start to get into these, little semantics and I get it. When it's offensive, we should talk about it. It should be talked about.
Yeah.
But when you
Totally.
overreact and do this, like Bill Maher, that's why I bring up Bill Maher, because Bill Maher's monologue on cancel culture was perfect. He's not the end all be all authority on it, but his monologue was perfect because we're getting into these slippery slopes where everything's offensive now. So where does it stop? Where does it stop?
Yeah.
Maybe we just said something offensive here, and we're going to be canceled tomorrow. So,
Hey, you know what?
Totally. We always
Fuck those
say.
guys.
especially for you Rob Zombie fans out there that I didn't praise him, you'll probably cancel us tomorrow. So,
So
know.
that's
Those
the thing about
those Jester fans that that fucking hates me because like I always make fun of Jester.
oh
Yeah,
please. I
they're
don't even
gonna
have any
cancel my
fans,
ass.
dog.
Like all of those TikTok fans
Where
that
have
he
you
has.
heard that? You haven't heard anyone say,
Exactly.
"Oh, stop that." They obviously like it.
all of those TikTok fans that he has, like, with the TikTok videos and shit, man.
Yeah, they don't.
God.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, to be honest, Jester's the true hero. He's the MVP of this show. So,
Yeah, right.
He's the face. He's the face.
Oh, there you go. I'm the face. I like that. I'll be the face.
yeah, he's
You're
definitely
the-
the Jonathan Cena of the
He's
show.
the face without a face.
He's the face. Pinhead's the heart. Mike's the soul. And like I'm the fat fucking guy who like makes fun of everybody.
You're the troll.
Yeah.
There you go. You
Somebody
got it,
has to
man.
be.
Yeah.
Somebody has to be the bad guy. So I'll fucking take that. I don't care.
Well,
boy.
I just want to
But
mention on Pepe Le
Space
Pew real
Jam
quick.
2 is gonna be like lower tier because
course.
just like LeBron, he's lower tier compared to Jordan.
Agreed. And
There's a story. The reason why Space Jam happened was because like he wanted, he was done. He wanted to do something, so he wanted to be a baseball, whatever. But then all of a sudden, the Warner Brothers approached him because they found out he's gonna be back in basketball. So they're gonna be like, oh hey, we have this perfect idea for you. How about we do this?
And I will say this, because I want to hear Jester's opinion because he's about to say something. Not for nothing, you ain't stepping to that first soundtrack, ladies and gentlemen.
Nope.
You just ain't.
yeah,
That soundtrack was
Yeah.
absolute, as you kids say, fire. That soundtrack was fire.
Even
So,
if it, even the greatest hit of that soundtrack is from a rapey guy like R. Kelly.
It don't matter.
I believe I
It's
can
still
fly.
a great song.
I
Shut
believe
up.
I can fly. It is one of the greatest songs ever made. I will fight people. Like seriously.
And the Filipino karaoke classic
Yeah.
that
there you
all
go.
the uncles and aunts, especially the uncles, I believe I can fly.
Filipino and Japanese karaoke
Oh
classic.
man,
Just-
yeah,
Wow.
like that soundtrack was killer, bro. Oh, and do we know, is it confirmed that Bill Murray is going to be in this movie?
I don't know about that.
yeah.
Okay,
and
then
don't
I'm not
know.
going to watch the movie.
who knows?
What's the point?
His
But
brand.
let's
that
hear
might be a little
Jester's.
bad.
Let's hear Jester's point of view. What do you gotta say, Jester?
Well, I mean, on Bill Murray, it might damage what's his name's brand. I hate for
Probably
that to
why
happen.
he won't be in it.
Yeah, so he won't be in it. No, but I was just saying about Pepe Le Pew. I'm going back, a couple minutes. I'm glad that we clarified it, that it wasn't cancel culture that got rid of him, but it was the producers and very famous basketball player, apparently his choice to remove those scenes. It wasn't cancel culture.
Correct.
I'm glad we're making that clear because that was a big, kerfuffle or whatever you want to call it. Everyone was had their panties in a wad over it. So,
No.
But I don't know, man. And the whole thing with them trying to
It's-
push out Pepe Le Pew and stuff like that, and it's like, when you guys were kids, and you watched Pepe Le Pew, did you honestly think that? I mean, I didn't even put it together. Like, I wasn't even thinking. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna lock a woman in a room and make sure she can't leave. It's like I didn't. I was never even thinking like that. You know what I mean? And never.
what I thought of was like I felt bad for the cat because like she got that like fucking stripe on the back of her head.
Same, yeah.
That made
Right,
her look
but-
made her look like a skunk.
But I
Right.
think to that point, back then when we were growing up, there was no Me Too movement. All of those things were happening behind closed doors.
Hmm.
So
Well, maybe they don't get like they shouldn't get the white stripes in the back of their head.
But I mean,
because that's the only time he got rapey was because he thought he was a skunk.
But at 10 years
He was
old,
trying to mate.
but even
It's
if
natural.
the Me Too movement was going on at 10 years old, I wouldn't be involved. Like I would have no idea what's going on. I would be playing with toys and doing my own thing, watching Looney Tunes. You know what I mean?
right. But then I think also, I mean, this is a kid's film. So
Yeah.
as far as Pepe Le Pew locking up the girl character in a room, so if you were to show that to a kid, how does that kid perceive that scene? Oh, it's okay to be locked up by someone else, by a guy.
No, I
Okay,
never
so
even perceived it that way as a kid.
Let us
Well, that's
let
what
us
I'm
reverse
saying.
that then.
But that's what I'm saying. If you're gonna show something like that, and we're talking about how we're perceiving it because we're grown-ups now. But
No,
what
I'm saying
about-
as a child.
but that's why we don't know how children will perceive those things nowadays.
Oh,
No, but-
nowadays.
Yeah,
But here's the thing, Mike. At the end of every Pepe Le Pew cartoons, he ended up like getting showered by fucking cologne, and then all of a sudden the fucking cat gets all frisky. You know what I'm talking about?
I mean,
Right,
that's true.
Like it reverses the role, and then she becomes the pursuer.
That is true. Yep.
right. I
very
remember that clearly.
Okay,
That's
so
the thing. So, hold on.
So are
Let
we
me-
gonna cancel the cat also?
Hold on. What's being canceled here is Pepe Le Pew being in Space Jam, not those old cartoons. Those old cartoons are still in existence.
I know, but
Yeah.
then
No one
are we
talked
gonna
about it
cancel the cat
specifically.
also because of the fact that actually happened?
Well, that's the thing. That I don't even know if that cat was going to appear in Space Jam 2. So they had scenes of apparently they have scenes of Pepe Le Pew, but they cut it.
Yeah, he was a bartender, and
Yeah.
he was going to be hitting on one of the female characters inappropriately.
Oh my god!
Yeah, they
Really?
acknowledge it. They acknowledge
I'm dead
that
serious.
they-
Yeah, I'm dead serious.
That's it. That's all
That
he's
that
gonna
was
do.
it. That was all he was going to do. And then the,
Fucking
the
LeBron, dude.
director number two.
No wonder
cut it.
no wonder people don't consider you a fucking the greatest of all time because you're a clown.
See, that's the thing. Depending on how he was going to be presented. See, if that's how all he was going to be presented.
Bartenders would flirt with any fucking body.
Well,
That's who they are, man.
That's
You've
why.
never been to a
that's
bar?
why. So
Yeah.
you know,
So
Have
I,
I got hit on by male bartenders? Absolutely.
Of course,
because
they want tips.
you know why? They want the tips.
Yep. Yeah.
so I will say this. I know exactly where Mike is coming from because that makes sense. However, psychology never changes. Psychology never changes. We can continue to move the bar and do all this, but the psychology of human beings, it doesn't matter male, female, transgender, black, white, it doesn't matter. The psychology of human beings will never change because it's predetermined from, whether you believe in God or you believe in the evolution of apes. Either way, it's already predetermined. The psychology is already predetermined in our head.
Yep.
That being said, if you're going to do that, you're going to have to pick out every single thing throughout history, and we cannot do that. We cannot do that. We can pick everything out throughout history and have a discussion about it,
Mm-hmm.
but if we're doing that, I hate to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have a long, long, long haul.
Yeah.
We really are. We're going to have a long haul because you're not only going to have to talk about race relations, gender relations. You're going to have to talk about psychology, and people don't want to do that. They want to talk about the race relations and this and that and the other. They don't want to talk about the psychology involved in it. And if you break it down, if you really look at it, just like how people gravitate toward Speedy Gonzalez, especially in that community, you need to ask the people in that community first. You need to ask women how they feel about it. I'm talking about the overall scale, not just one group or the other. You need to talk about the overall scale, just like the overall scale of people, because they're trying to cancel Speedy Gonzalez next. They want him out because he's a racist stereotype of Mexican Americans in this country.
No, he's not. But sure.
Stop. You don't have the right to talk about it. I don't have the right to talk about it. Mike doesn't have the right to talk about it. Jester doesn't have the right to talk about it. You know who does? The community that you're talking about. Ask them first. Just like when you talk about issues of Black rights, ask the communities first, not the celebrities, not the studios. This is what aggravates us. Not the studios, not all. Ask the communities first. Ask them first. And we're not talking about, well, you ask a couple of Black people and the Mexicans and transgenders and white people. And then no, we're talking about asking the whole community. Do you have the guts to do it? Most of you out there don't have the guts to do it. And that's the reason why we're at. So please ask the communities first before you cancel the culture. Please do that. Please. Because that's the problem with cancel culture. There should be shit that should be canceled. But you need to do the research and critically think about what communities should be canceled and what communities shouldn't be. Right. Please do that. Ask the communities that you're defending them, right? Please ask those communities first before you do anything. Ask those communities first and then go forward. That's all I'm asking.
Right. That's a very good point. And that's the thing. I think now you're seeing, it's good that Jester clarified that, cancel culture did not ask for this to be canceled. It's the creators themselves or the producers and, the director that made the call, because now you're also seeing a reaction towards the current climate that we're in, where they think that, we're just gonna avoid controversy because this movie's already gonna be handicapped when it comes out, because of course we're not packing movie theaters like we used to, so we're just gonna avoid it. We're just gonna avoid any controversy. We're just gonna take these things out. Now you're seeing that reaction because of cancel culture. Another thing to mention is Dr. Seuss, the Dr. Seuss estate, the family. A lot of people are quick, again, before you react, find out your facts. A quick Google search will help you a lot. I mean, we have it on our phones, or you can easily just say, hey, Google, or hey, Siri, whatever it is, Alexa. Or hey, Alexa, Cortana, and you can find out the factual, the facts first before you comment or blow up or react right away. The Dr. Seuss estate and the family decided that they will stop printing 6 out of the bajillion Dr. Seuss books out there that are very insensitive to Asian cultures and the Black, to African American or African culture as well. Or I'm paraphrasing here.
Yeah, the ethnic ones. Yeah.
Yeah. So if I'm not mistaken, there were some characters that had blackface on, and then there was even like Chinese characters depicted or Asian characters depicted. And so cancel culture did not ask for those books to be canceled. The
family.
Right. They decided they're going to stop printing those books. Yep. So that's not cancel culture saying let's cancel this. A lot of people are very misinformed. So they just thought, cancel culture. And then of course they were trying to cancel Eminem. Gen Z, I think was Gen Z.
They still are, dude.
not
Get
they.
the
still
Yeah,
are.
they
fuck
still
outta
are.
And
They still are.
there are some classic and great TikToks out there explaining why there is no way you can cancel Eminem.
We
So-
tried to do it twice already, kids.
Right, exactly. And then
Dummies.
I mean, this along a string of many things that I guess the other term for cancel culture is boycott. That a lot of people have tried to boycott in the past,
Mhm.
such as Nike. I mean, it's not too far, not too long ago when Colin Kaepernick started kneeling at a football game,
Yeah.
and a lot of people were so offended because he would kneel during the national anthem, when he in fact actually spoke to a member of the military service, if I'm not mistaken, and he actually
Special
got
teams, Navy SEAL.
Yeah.
Navy SEAL,
Ex Navy SEAL.
an ex-Navy SEAL. So Colin Kaepernick himself asked that ex-Navy SEAL if it was
What can
still
he do?
respectful, what can he do to show a way of silent and peaceful. The keywords are silent and peaceful protest, which is a God-given right here in these great United States. So, and of course, when that happened, you know, a lot of people said, I'm going to boycott the NFL. I'm not going to watch football. Really? Did that really affect the ratings of football?
Actually, the ratings went up.
Exactly. And
People
of
like
course,
to argue against that, but it did. They did. They went up.
right. And then Colin Kaepernick got fired.
Oh, he did.
But regardless of your opinion of how he plays, you know, and by the way, just to of course, we want to just to mention, he used to play for the local university here, University of Nevada, Reno.
And he plays for my San Francisco 49ers.
Right.
Used
Yeah,
to.
your shitty ass team.
And then, of course,
Yeah.
you know, everyone made fun of him when he got fired and said, "Oh, he's done, and he's never gonna amount to anything." And sure
Yeah.
enough, not too long ago, Nike made a deal with him. This guy's not even playing sports, and he got a Nike deal. And Nike said, you know, I thought the brand marketing was on point and genius, because it's all about like speaking your truth and what you believe in. Just do it. And after that was announced, everyone who purchased Nike sneakers made in China, mostly, or made in Vietnam, even sometimes made in the Philippines,
Yeah.
started burning their Nike sneakers that they paid $45, $50, $75, $100 for, and started saying, I'm not going to buy Nike shoes anymore. Well, guess
Idiot.
what, buckos? You little
He just
fuckos.
did.
You all paid for those Nikes in the first place. Doesn't matter if you burn them now.
Yeah, exactly.
And when I
Idiot.
found that out, I was proud. I actually ordered a new pair of Nikes that were on the way. And I was even prouder to own a pair of Nike shoes. And now I will always support Nike, because they obviously support people who are all for peacefully and, you know, peacefully protesting and standing up for what they believe in. Not being violent, I want to be clear, but being peaceful and actually standing up for, you know, something that's right. And there's obviously a lot of things going on, without getting too deep and too political or whatever. There's,
I mean,
you know, it's
the-
not a perfect world, but
when people say that Colin Kaepernick got fired from the NFL, that wasn't true.
right.
He was a free agent in like for the Niners, and we had the option to pick him up. But the problem is he didn't want to learn a new offense from the new coach. And the coach says, okay, well, we'll give you, and the general manager said, we'll give you the option to be a free agent. You're free to go. So they released him from the contract. That's not firing. You're just releasing
No,
your
You're
contract.
Right.
absolutely right. And nobody else wanted to touch a bomb.
No,
Right.
yeah, but
And if it was
again, like
the-
nobody, because again, his style of playing, the way he played, wasn't the thing until like a few years later, when Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, and all of these cats that are like running around and passing right now, that are being successful. Now they're looking for Colin Kaepernick type of players.
Mhm.
There's a guy there, but now he's old. Again, he's
Yeah, he's too old
unfortunately.
now.
Yeah, unfortunately, his career, if somebody picks him up as a backup, that's cool. That's fine. More power to
Yeah.
him. But
By the way-
he wasn't.
How'd that work out for Patrick Mahomes this year in the Super
Yeah.
Bowl?
Oh, he played
he got-
fantastically. It was just his team that just
Right.
butter.
Not,
No.
not
No,
so
no,
much.
no, no, no,
Not so
no,
much.
no,
Because
no,
you
no. He
can't
got his
blame
ass
all
kicked.
that on his team. So
Oh,
Yeah, he
you
got his
can't
ass
blame
kicked.
it all on his team.
Oh,
He got his ass kicked pretty bad.
your favorite Jester just signed a contract the other day, I think, and he said he's going for number 8, right? He's won 7.
oh really? Oh,
Yeah.
he's gonna go for
He
another one.
said number 8, number 8.
Just by the way, so
Tom
full
Brady.
disclosure, just so you know, Jester hates Tom Brady more than your boy Jared Leto. So
Jesus.
Yeah.
that doesn't
Well,
count.
I think it's an equal. I think it's actually he does hate Tom Brady way more. So
Oh yeah, he makes that.
yeah, that's
He
true.
makes that.
Because at least Jared Leto, he'll still give a chance. Like he's willing to watch it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Tom
That's
Brady's
true.
got to go.
Yeah. Alrighty then.
And not for nothing, not so that Jester's on full alert. I think Jester might hate him more than I hate Jonathan Cena. So that's saying a lot.
Really?
Okay, maybe a little. Yeah.
Yeah, that is
The way he was presenting himself. Well, we won't get full into it, but the way Jester was like wanting Tom Brady to go down before. I think he hates him more than I hate Jonathan Cena. That might be at best. It's a close photo finish,
Yeah.
neck and neck.
It's
First
close.
to second.
Yeah.
yeah.
Photo finish.
But hey, you know what? In a world full of division, what we need is to be united. So I'm just gonna end with this. We're gonna end the show here. I think we've gone. We've had some good discussions here and good content. So this is my tweet. Feel free to like it and retweet it if you like it. Hashtag Zack Snyder's Justice League is epic, emotional, with humor and lots of heart. I cheered and cried tears of joy just when we desperately need hope and faith in ourselves and others. It's a great reminder of what we are truly capable of when we stand together. So that's my non-spoiler first reaction tweet to Zack Snyder's Justice League. And I do want to clarify, I didn't get to mention it. The R rating is definitely earned because not just for the language, the F-bomb is dropped just twice, but it's dropped twice in moments that make sense. It's the blood and the violence.
Oh dang.
Ah! I mean, it could have actually been more, but it's fine. I mean, it worked. It's really it's violent, so But yeah, that's pretty much it. Please make sure to follow us on Instagram at FMANDTB, on Twitter at FMANDTB podcast, and then of course on Facebook you can search for us, Filmmaker Mike and the boys, and then you can also search for my YouTube channel, Filmmaker Mike, and then you can also watch the shows as well if you prefer watching them on YouTube. Just search Filmmaker Mike or Filmmaker Mike and the boys. You'll also find Jester and Pinhead's YouTube channels. Check out their videos and their stuff as well, and please subscribe to them as well. And then follow me as well on, my TikTok, with that one TikTok yesterday about winning the Snyder Cut contest and getting to see it. I was at 230 followers yesterday. Right now I'm at 256. That video, that TikTok, is now my highest viewed TikTok at 10.1 thousand views. And yeah, you can hear the Hallelujah song. That's what I used. And it's got 679 likes. So the Snyder Cut on TikTok, hashtag ZSJL TikTok, is blowing up because now we're full on Snyder Cut mode. I can't wait for everyone to get to see it. And we will talk about it, discuss, argue, break it down, whatever. We're going to discuss it all. So, Jester.
Yeah, you can follow me on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. I'm everywhere. So, Kuya?
Instagram, Old Man Jimmy. Still no content because procrastination is my passion. So
Following it to a key, I see.
Yeah, it's fine. Plus, like new day job and everything. So like things are just a little hectic.
Yeah.
But stay tuned. There. I don't want to just stay tuned. You might see some content soon.
Nice.
And
Better.
Jester, or I'm sorry, Pinhead.
Oh, me again? Okay.
Yeah, Jester, how you doing? You know?
Good. How are you, buddy?
Anyway, I will say on a side note, as much as I hate him, you should have used Jonathan Cena's "The Time Is Now" for your your headliner for the Zack Snyder cut. Anyway,
Oh, that'll
there's
be for
nothing.
you when you get your TikTok, baby.
That'll never happen. That'll never happen. That'll never happen.
You
However,
will join us.
maybe an OnlyFans if it's pushed enough. But anyway, there's nothing going on with me. You know, I got my Instagram Pinhead198. Follow the Pinhead198 YouTube channel because we're gonna be really going to full force there. And that's about it. I do Twitter once in a while. Twitter, whatever the fuck it is. Fuck it. Just follow me on Instagram and YouTube. That's it.
All righty. Thank you guys for listening and gals. We did get a comment from, I want to share it real quick. This is from
Jesse.
Marlo.
Oh, Marlo.
And he
Marlo.
said, been enjoying the podcast, and the last one I saw was with the female guest, of course, Grace.
Hell yeah.
She was going to join us originally for Saturday night, but unfortunately, she couldn't join us for Sunday afternoon. But that's okay. Hopefully, next time she can join us. And he also said, Marlo said she was cool. I liked her interaction with the boys. So
The boys.
there you go. And then Marlo, by the way, also has a YouTube channel. He's got he gets a lot. You think I get a lot of toys? He gets a lot more of toys. Marlo the Collector is his YouTube channel. So I want to give him a shout out because he's
The
cool.
collector.
And
Thanks, Marlo.
and he's
Thank
on
you.
Instagram, Marlo_ the Collector. So thank you guys. Thank you, Marlo. And if you guys are listening, we would appreciate a review on iTunes, on the Apple Podcast app. If you're listening on Spotify, make sure to tap on that follow button. And you can turn on the notifications to alert you when we have brand new episodes. And until then, thank you guys for listening. The Snyder Cut is almost here. Oh my God.
Almost there.
Yes.
Snyderverse released the air cut. RIP to Drew Brees' career. He retired today. So
That's right. I just got a notification too.
Good riddance to
So-
bad rubbish.
there you go.
Oh boy. All
Thank
right.
you,
And
Pinhead.
yes,
Fuck.
good riddance to the Justice
Good riddance
League.
to bad rubbish.
Good riddance to the Justice League. If you haven't checked out our drinking game and audio commentary or the video commentary, check that out as well. And please share it. We would appreciate it. Thank you guys again. We
And you're not
appreciate you.
and you're not the king of basketball if your fucking championship thing is less than 500. Okay, so shut the hell up, fans. Thank you.
The hell.
All
6-0, baby.
See
6-0.
y'all next time. Bye.